Burns keeps it alive. Perry to drive tail, swinging in front, and it towards escape.
On Sports 1440.
So now with that point, but Colson,
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Well, a tremendous Tuesday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, sports1440.ca, because we have an exciting, maybe a nerve-wracking show for Oiler fans as we count down Game 6, a must-win tonight for the Edmonton Oilers. It is the Gregor Show, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game, use the promo code Gregor50, Gregor50. Hey, the Oilers are the underdogs, baby. If you believe, there's the time to do it. Make a little extra at PlayAlberta.ca. And, of course, we're coming to you live at On the Rocks, where it is going to be blissful here tonight, especially if the Oilers win. Can you imagine? Tuesday night in Edmonton, a victory, and that will lead 3 days of hype leading up to Game 7. It would only be the third Game 7 in Canada since expansion. Edmonton, 1987, Oilers won. Vancouver, 2011, Canucks lost. Can the Oilers make it 3 in 2025? What's your thoughts, folks? Nervous, excited, confident? What do you think? I agree with what Leon Draisaitl said today. This team hasn't their best yet. They're capable of playing better. I went back, I watched the highlights again, rewatched that game, and man, you look at the goals that Florida scored. First of all, the Brad Marchand off a face-off at center. He gets the jump-on pot goals, and then he splits at Combe. Like, that play can't happen. It should not happen. Then you look at the Sam Bennett goal. Matthias Ekholm's at center ice. He's going to dump the puck in, flubs it. They turn around, score. And then what about Marchand's other goal? An offensive zone face-off for the Oilers. Draisaitl wins it, but again, Marchand gets the jump, this time on Perry, pokes it back. Now, Wallman has it in, but then he fans on his pass to Bouchard. Florida intercepts it, taps it up to Marchand, then he dances around Wallman. Like, oh my goodness. It was one where the Oilers, they played a little bit of Santa Claus in Game 5. There could be no Santa Claus tonight. They need to play hard. They need to play smart. And they might need a little, I think, divine intervention. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, one of them's got to step up tonight. Like, when we go back and you look at the history of great sporting events, and you think of like huge sports moments, like when you think of the NHL, you know, lots of people remember the Messier guarantee, even though I'm still not sure he guaranteed a win. He just said, we're going to go in there and get a win. Didn't say I guarantee a win, but I get it. They played it up and it lived up to it. No, by the way, they were trailing 2-0 in the first period. They were trailing 2-0 for the first 38 minutes until Alexei Kovalev scored late in the second. Messier assisted it. And then Messier had a natural hat trick in the third period to salt the game away. Are you kidding me? Epic performance. Then, hey, of course, you had Stefan Matteau in Game 7 be the hero. Right? You can go back to, what about Gretzky? When you think of all the great Gretzky games, obviously, if you think of big ones in the big moment, Game 7, when he was a member of the Kings, his only hat trick as a King against the Toronto Maple Leafs in Toronto. And Gretzky has a 4-point night, and they win 5-4. He scored the opening goal. Then there was 2-2. He scored the go-ahead 3-2 goal. Then he scored the game winner. That's a performance, right? What about Don Larson? The only perfect game in World Series history, 1956. I've still seen that. Like, I'm a sports junkie, but that's a game without even looking. You ask me, what's the greatest baseball performance? You got to say that one. How could it be better? It's a perfect game. You literally can't be better than that in the World Series. And they end up winning in 7. Some would say maybe the greatest NBA Finals performance, a young Irvin Magic Johnson, 1980, taking on the 76ers. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is hurt. He's out with an ankle injury. So the point guard, who happens to be fairly tall in Magic, is like, well, you're going to play center. What's he do? He drops 42 points, 15 boards, 7 assists, and they win. Like, there's some huge games at different times. Connor McDavid, last year, Game 5 in Florida, a must-win game in the Stanley Cup final. Connor McDavid, 2 goals, 2 assists. He was all over the ice. That play to Corey Perry when he danced through everybody and just gave Corey Perry a gift, that was Perry, funny enough. This time last year, that was Perry's first goal of the playoffs in Game 5. He scored his 10th of the year this year in Game 5. Unfortunately, in a loss for the Oilers. But McDavid's had those games. Right? Draisaitl had a 4-goal game in the playoffs. Those guys are capable of it, and they're going to need it. The rest of the team's going to have to play better. The puck drop is 6:20, not 6:40, not 7 o'clock, 6:20. Well, 8:20 Eastern time. And they got to be ready because first periods, they have been overwhelmed. They've been overwhelmed, especially lately. No goals in the first period. They've given up 7. They've been outshot almost 2-1, 37-20. Hanging their goalies out to dry. Don't everybody wants, the goalies. I read it everywhere. Oh, the goalies. Do the goalies score goals? Do the goalies take undisciplined penalties? No. Can't just blame the goalie for everything when you lose because it's simple and it's easy. The skaters got to be better. Draisaitl said it. We've yet to play our best. And hey, guess what? If it's true that you save your best for last, then away you go. That'll be it. And Connor Halley, do you believe in numerology?
No, I don't.
You don't?
Not a believer in numerology, no.
Okay. So, now, what if I told you? So people who don't know, numerology essentially is it's like this mystical relationship between numbers and events, right? And how it works out. So I have a fun one for you if you like patterns. So there's 2 tonight. This is only the second time in Oilers franchise history that they've played a playoff game on June 17th. The first time, close your eyes, think back 19 years ago. It was the loudest building I've ever been in. Game 6, Stanley Cup Final, 2006. UC Marketing gets a shutout, only faced 16 shots, and the Oilers spanked the Carolina Hurricanes 4-0. Pisani had another game winner, scored early in that game. The city was going nuts. That's the loudest it's ever been. I still remember because I got tickets. I luckily enough got a pair of tickets for my brother and his wife for that game. And she wasn't a huge hockey fan at the time, but she said that was one of the greatest events she'd ever been. It was so loud, like half an hour before the game, the crowd was chanting. It was unreal. And that's why I want a Game 7 on home ice. I know it was loud in Game 5, but trust me, Game 7 will be different. It'll be different. It just is. And that game. So there's one numerology, but here's the one. If you want to spread it out, Connor Halley.
Mm-hmm.
So tonight is, of course, I mentioned, a game where you would say, hey, Connor McDavid, they kind of need him maybe to step up. Well, tonight is his 96th playoff game. So do the math. They win tonight. Connor McDavid's 97th playoff game will be Game 7 at home. Connor McDavid hoists the cup in his 97th playoff game at home in Edmonton. That would be quite the epic connection of numbers and whatever, feng shui, you want to call it whatever, numerology, you want to call it whatever you want. But Cons, if that happens, that'll be quite the night in Edmonton.
That'll be something.
Yeah.
I will say, Gregor, I was at that game 6 against the Canes. Standing room only. I don't know if they do that at Rogers, but at the end of the rink, they had standing room only. So you had to lean the whole game.
Oh, I remember.
Whenever a goal was scored, and there was the 4 you mentioned, people stood up. We couldn't see a thing. But it was such a cool experience to see Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final. So, yeah, I was there deafening. And that, hey, it's in McDavid's hands tonight, right? Like, he's so big for this team. He can make that happen. He can lead the prophecy.
Yeah, it would be quite the event. So I'm kind of curious. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. What are you feeling about tonight? Oiler fans, confident, nervous, dejected? Like, it's not surprising. You can see guys who say, oh, yeah, I'm a big Oiler fan. I just call it how I see it. Like, there are people that are so negative, like they can't help themselves. And they've written off the Oilers because all they do is make it negative quote. It's hilarious. And they out themselves time and time again. Nothing's ever good enough. Like, the Oilers are in the Stanley Cup Final 2 years in a row. And these chumps are telling you everything that's wrong and how the organization's terrible. Like, oh, they win tonight. They'll have played Florida. It'll be 13 games in the Stanley Cup Final. And it'll be 7-6. Oh, my God. Florida's so much better. Even if they lose tonight, it'll be 8-6. Not a crushing, be better for sure. So 8-5, sorry. And either way, the Oilers, they got to play better. There's no question about it. They got to play better. Skinner starting in goal. That's not a surprise. We talked about that yesterday. Victor Arvidsson is out. Kapanen comes in. Kapanen, Kane, and Draisaitl are going to start the game together. Hey, Evander Kane, man. Where is he? They need Evander Kane here. He was hurt last year in the Cup Final. He's not hurt. Show up. 91's got to make an appearance because his biggest contribution thus far, yes, he scored 1 goal, but his biggest contribution has been taking too many penalties. So, man, you could make up for a lot of that with a big game tonight. Score a big goal, have a big hit, have a momentum-changing shift. But they need 91 to give a lot more than he's given so far in the series. And he'll be with Draisaitl and Podkolzin. Perry, Nugent Hopkins, and McDavid will start. I don't think we're going to see, like, some of the lines will obviously play together for lots, but I think 97 and 29, you're going to see them. I hope they're apart more than they're together tonight. I really believe that when you put McDavid and Draisaitl together too early, it limits your team. It limits the threat. I want to have a threat on the ice, right? They're oh, geez, they got Marchand. They're not playing Marchand and Bennett together, right? Right now, they're 2 hottest guys. Keep Draisaitl and McDavid apart more. You want to load them up on a few shifts after the penalty kill? 100%. But they got it. I don't want to see in the first. Now, it would help if you're not behind 3 goals. Sure. But even then, like, get up and stay up and try to put Florida on their heels for the first time in the series. Let's see how Florida reacts to playing from behind because they haven't done it very much. They've only trailed for a grand total of 33 minutes of the 358 minutes that have been played so far in the series. So that's where I see they need to be better. Henrique with Skinner and Frederick. And then you'll have Janmark Brown playing with Podkolzin tonight. And, that's a fast line. That line's got to do something. If they're out there against Florida's 4th line, like, come on. You got to make something happen. Every line's got to make something happen. Now, the defense pairs, I'm curious about it. It says it's Ekholm and Bouchard. Then they have Nurse and Kulak, and you have Wallman and Klingberg. I'm not in love with the Nurse Kulak. Kulak, I don't love him on the right side. I'm sorry. Wallman plays better on the right side than Kulak does. So I'd consider maybe shuffling Wallman over to the right side. And then you could play Kulak with Klingberg and Nurse with Wallman. You could consider it. So we'll see. The defense pairs might change. Ekholm's got to be better than he was last game. No question about it. So we'll see. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. One word from Husks. Nervous. That's all I can say. Hey, guys, I'm just here appreciating what we're watching. Playoff hockey, June 17th. Again, win or lose, happy to be an Oiler fan. Hey, guys, my gut tells me it's going to be Connor and Leon show. The Oilers put up 5 and win from Steve. Hey, Gregor, in that game, Magic opened up with Kareem Skyhook. What a legend from Talladega. Good memory, man. See, big moments like that, you remember it. You do. I still remember Gretzky's game against the Leafs. Right? It was so hyped up, and it's LA, and he's there. You're watching it. It's Toronto, and there's all the hype around the Leafs, and they're still mad about the high stick that wasn't called on Gretzky, and yada yada yada. There was the Wendell Clark, Martin McSorley, the epic tilt in that series. God, it was great, right? Who doesn't remember the Messier game? How can you not? So I vividly remember Connor McDavid last year, Game 5 in Florida. Oh, it's a pretty damn good performance by him. And, the goal that led to, the Corey Perry goal, which was all about McDavid going through everybody. And really what gets overlooked on that play was a really smart play by Darnell Nurse on the bench, because it was late in the power play. The second unit was coming off, and Darnell normally goes. He stood up on the bench, was about to go over, and then he saw McDavid, so he yelled at the forward guy to go instead, and that was Corey Perry. Because Corey Perry was closer, he ended up going to the net, gets the wide open tap-in goal, and away you go. Hey, guys, I'm sick to my stomach. I want to win so much from Mike. Well, Mike, I'm guessing you're not alone. There's lots of people that they're nervous energy today. They're walking, they're pacing. They feel like you're nervous, right? I get it. I understand it as a fan. And that's how you should feel. You feel alive. Hey, boys, I'm just hoping Connor can go full Connor tonight. Why not? I get it. From Stu Barnes. Hey, boys, first period is crucial. We need a lead. If they don't get the lead, I think we're in trouble. Yikes. From Mitch. Well, you know what, Mitch? To me, I don't even care if they get the lead in the first period. Don't be behind. If you get out of the first period tied, that's a win for Edmonton, considering where they've been so far in the series. Right? That'd be a win if they can get out of the first period at a tie. But obviously, you're right. You'd love to see them get an early goal, get a goal at all. Hey, boys, Oilers win tonight 5-2. McDavid breaks through 2 goals and a helper from Rob the Athlete. All right, Robbie. Hope you're right. Hey, boys, no need to unpack the cup tonight. It'll be sent directly to Edmonton before the game even starts. Destiny from Brian. Guys, I can't work. I can't focus. Can't even concentrate at work because of how this game is making me feel. From Ranger Nick. That's awesome. Hey, Gregor, the Oilers are going to come out, play hard. We have nothing to lose, and hopefully we're going to get it done. Skinner will be focused. From Dave J. Go Oil. Well, we got a loaded show. We'll get to more of the text, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We got Dave McCarthy coming up in hour number 2, Spec, Struds. Wyshynski will join us from Florida. We also have Cordell Jackson, the Elks Sam linebacker, will join us in the first hour. Of course, Elks have their home opener on Thursday. And a big opportunity for them to get to see. Think about that. You could have the Elks win on Thursday, Game 7 on Friday. Get set up for a great week for Edmonton sports fans. We are live and on the rocks. Jasper Ave and 118th Street. A few walk-in welcomes tonight. If you want to get here early. Get a great seat to watch Game 6. The Oilers and the Panthers will return to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Wow, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
I won't shave till we bring home the cup. And I like to do a shot for every playoff goal. My jersey's not coming off until we're the city of champs again.
Want a playoff superstition that always wins? Pick up a bag of Wilhauk beef jerky for every game. Because when it comes to the playoffs, where there's a Wilhauk, there's a way.
Make every playoff game a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't bring home the cup with salad.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience, but it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-471-7380 or visit Edmonton EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
With all the news about tariffs and price hikes coming our way, you have to be strategic with your money. St. Albert Dodge knows that and has some good news for you. Right now, all Ram 1500s are available with 0% financing for up to 72 months. So think about it. You can get into a brand new Ram 1500 right now at pre-tariff prices, while selection is still good, and pay 0 interest on your financing. That keeps more money in your pocket. And that's how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
This is a slam dunk. Dive into Edmonton's vibrant basketball scene with exclusive interviews and expert analysis. I'm Paul Sir, and I host The Basketball Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440.
Adventure just doesn't stumble into your life. It roars to life with Riverside Motorsports. Tearing up trails or cruising the open road, Yamaha ATVs, side-by-sides, motorcycles, and dirt bikes deliver the performance you crave. Built for thrills, ready for your next adventure. Yamaha's legendary performance and reliability take you there. Make Mother Nature your playground on a Yamaha from Riverside Motorsports. Located on St. Albert Trail. RideRiverside.com. Riverside Motorsports. What you do for fun is our business.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadians for $5.25. OTR's TVs, hey, they're so clear you'll see the puck better than the ref. That ain't hard, is it? And every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, specials start 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocks.yeg.com.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Check out The Ridge Social Eatery, St. Albert. The Ridge is a locally owned, upscale neighborhood restaurant offering unbeatable daily features. Open daily at 11:30. Craving something late? Check out their new late-night menu from 8 till close. Enjoy brunch at The Ridge Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays until 2 p.m. Plus, there's open mic night every first Wednesday of the month and live music select Saturdays. Welcoming atmosphere, friendly staff, good times. For more, visit theridgestantalbert.com or social media.
For a rock-solid start on all your spring and summer projects, Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete to septic tanks, precast water pads to outhouses, plus aggregates, landscaping supplies, and more. Renos, construction. Start planning right now at BashawConcrete.com or call 780-372-3854. That's 780-372-3854. Family owned and operated, proudly serving Albertans since 1963. Bashaw Concrete Products.
Are you tossing and turning at night, unable to sleep because of mounting debt? Debt can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to face it alone. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I'm here to guide you every step of the way so you can find peace of mind and finally rest easy. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book a free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Watch every Oilers game at OTR with $5.25 Molson Canadian and $5 Pink Whitney shots plus 60-cent wings. And you can play Oilers Score and Win for your chance to win On the Rocks gift cards. Oilers Hockey at OTR. Book your table today. Jasper Ave in 118th.
The Jason Gregor Show. The best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.224, welcome back. Tuesday afternoon. It is game day on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, as well as those watching live at Oilers Nation YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. If you're on the tube, give a thumbs up to the con man. He's very superstitious. He feels that if he could get 97 thumbs up today, he thinks they'll win. So who knows? I said maybe 29, but he's shooting for the moon. So get your friends. If you're a believer in numerology, then maybe you should do it. Just remember, numerology. Oilers win tonight. Connor McDavid's 97th playoff game would be in Game 7 on Friday night. You heard it here first. Just remember that. Wrote about it, Oilers Nation, as well. As we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. And hey, you're a little stressed. Many of you, based on the text line, you need to calm down. Well, hey, stop in at McD's. $2 Sundays or a snack size shake, or even easier, use the McDonald's app and you'll get $1 cone right now, plus tax and delivery only at McDonald's. Greg Wyshynski from ESPN joins us. And Greg, of course, the cup is in the building tonight. And it's interesting that the Florida Panthers, as great as they've been, if there's one small dent in their armor, it's their ability or inability to close out a series. They're only 5-5 in elimination games the last few years. They have a tendency to make it a little bit harder. They still ultimately win, but they seem to extend their series a bit more.
I like that stat on McDavid. That's good to know that because of numerology, the Oilers will win their first playoff game next year. I think they're going to close it out tonight, unfortunately. Listen, I would love nothing more than to see this thing go 7, have a winner-take-all game, have Connor with a real chance of doing the thing we all want him to do at home, which would be awesome. But I don't think this series has been particularly close, if I'm being honest. Like, the Panthers have led 200 minutes in this series. The Oilers have led 33 minutes.
Yep.
In the times in which the Oilers have come back in this series, it is because the Panthers have squandered multiple goal leads, like taking their foot off the gas. And to the Oilers' credit, like they take advantage of those opportunities and in some cases have rallied to win games. But I think Game 5 was a reminder that when the Panthers put the pedal down for an entire game, they are by far the better team in the series at this point. And it's not the fault of the Oilers that they don't have Hyman and some other guys are banged up and things have just gone the way they have. But I just think the Panthers have demonstrated so far that when they can put together 3 good periods and don't allow the Oilers back into a game, they're going to win the game. And I think that's what's going to happen tonight.
Well, Edmonton's played chase way too often, 100%, right? Like they dominated Dallas and Vegas because they got out front. And if you have to play catch up against the Oilers and you open up lanes, like we actually had Bill Lindsay, the Panthers analyst, on yesterday, and Bill said himself, Florida isn't really built to play come from behind. When they do, that's when they open up a lot of lanes. And he goes, that's when teams have exploited them. And I'm like, my God, this is the only guy who's covered the team for that long. And yet the Oilers can't get a lead to save their life. And like, even last game, like that goal from Brad Marchand should never happen. Like I watched the game, like the Brad Marchand goal should never happen from center ice. It's a terrible play by multiple Oilers. Then on the second goal, Matthias Ekholm is at center ice and almost blows snow. Like, oh, I don't want to get hit. Fans on his dump in, and 10 seconds later, it's in the back of their net. And then the Marchand other goal is an offensive zone faceoff for the Oilers that they win and screw the pass across the blue line. It leads to Marchand then dancing around Wallman. Like, it was an unbelievable comedy of errors by the Oilers playing Santa Claus in Game 5.
But let's dial it back. I mean, let's say that Pickard should probably stop at least one of those Marchand chances. Maybe the first one. The second goal was gorgeous. I mean, the second goal was one where like his own teammates were trying to figure out how he did it. On the Bennett goal, Pickard's like all the way to his right on a play where his D in theory did block the shot.
Yeah,
so now the net's exposed for Bennett. I think there's a real question right now based on everything that's transpired this morning vis-a-vis the goaltending as to whether or not Knobloch made a terrible decision. I think if you have enough faith in Stuart Skinner to start him in Game 6 on the road in this spot, then you sure as hell should have had enough faith in him to start him in Game 5 at home, where it's going to be a lot more comfortable than it is here for him. And so I think he pulled the hook too quickly. I mean, I understand why he did it. And I understand that maybe part of Knobloch's thinking is that when Skinner has had a reset, he's come back even stronger. I mean, that's a fair point if that's the point he wants to make. But ultimately, like in the most important game of the series in Game 5, before we got to Game 6, he started a journeyman goalie. Let's be honest. Like, you started a guy on his 6th team in 10 years in this league, and I don't think that he did anything in that game to really put them in a position to win. So I think he blew that call, and that might, in hindsight, be a critical call to blow in this series.
I think it's fair. I said it before Game 5. I would have started Stu Skinner. I didn't mind Stuart Skinner's game in Game 4. He's the only reason it wasn't 5-0, for goodness sakes. They were brutal in that first period. And obviously Edmonton, to me, it's all about the first period tonight, Greg. The Oilers, they don't have a goal in their last 3 first periods. They've given up 7. They've been outshot 37-20. And I know Leon Draisaitl repeated it today. Hey, we haven't had our best. I'm like, well, what the hell are you waiting for? It probably should come tonight. And if the Oilers get out front, I'm kind of curious to see, because we really haven't seen Florida. Like, if they have to open it up, that's usually where Edmonton feasts on teams, because they beat Dallas, a better defensive team than Florida all regular season, by 3 goals every game, because Dallas was playing catch up every game.
Yeah, and if they get up a goal, by the way, it is going to be a sense of relief. I mean, you could even see Draisaitl this morning when he was talking about what has to happen tonight. I mean, like, he immediately said, we got to get a lead. And I think if they get a lead, then everybody kind of exhales a little bit. But the other part of that equation, too, is that once they get a lead, they cannot give them power plays. Like, I think that's been another part of the problem with this series, too, is the discipline part. I mean, Evander Kane having more penalty minutes in 5 games in this series than he had in 15 previous games in the playoffs is kind of an issue. And it's also been part of the, as Knobloch pointed out the other day, part of the math in the first period has been the number of penalties the Oilers have taken. So it's not just getting on the board first, it's also then playing the disciplined game that you need to play in order to maintain that lead. And we'll see what happens. I'm with you. Like, I'd be curious to see what happens if they get a lead, because the Panthers then would have to maybe ease up a little bit in their structure. And then, there's maybe some more opportunities for Connor and Leon that haven't been there otherwise.
Yeah, no, that's fair, right? Like, well, discipline, and it's really been discipline in the first period, right? Like, I felt at times Edmonton kind of got outside of themselves, being like, oh, we got to show Florida we're tough. Well, Edmonton is tough. Then the fact that they felt like they had to show it, to me, was odd. And you don't show it by taking high sticking penalties to the face. It's not the best way to do it. So, penalty kill for sure is an area, that has to be better. But I would argue the Oilers' power play, Greg, is also an element. Like, it's not good enough against Florida here in the series right now. Like, they're getting murdered on the special teams if you compare the two in the series. And Edmonton, I think about their power play is, you're not going to score every time. Like, you might only score 1 out of 4, and that's still a really good power play. But when you don't score, you can gain momentum or give it back. And too often the Oilers have had power plays where they didn't even get a shot on goal. And that just kind of kills it. Actually, to me, is like a momentum sponge. It just sucks it up.
I mean, yeah, I think Game 5 is the best example of that. Like, the first power play opportunity that the Edmonton Oilers had in that game, I don't think I've ever seen their power play dominated that much, like on a penalty kill. Like the Panthers did not even allow them one setup in the zone throughout the entire 2 minutes. It was pretty remarkable. I think they got outshot on that power play too, which is kind of remarkable too. But the Panthers have a good kill, and that's part of the equation here too. And part of the reason why we are where we are in this series is that the Panthers are just a really stout, good defensive team. I mean, for all the talk about what Connor can and can't do, what he should and shouldn't do in this series, he's going up against 2 guys on the same line that are both nominated for the Selke and one guy that won it. Like, how many other players have to deal with that in the playoffs? And then if you get past them, it's Ekblad and Jones's pairings. And if you get past them, it's Bob. Like, it's just a lot of obstacles to overcome for any offensive player on the Oilers, and including McDavid.
Greg Wyshynski joins us from ESPN. And that's why when you mention that, I'm not playing Draisaitl and McDavid together very often tonight. I think by having them apart longer, now obviously that's conducive to if you're not giving up a 2-0 lead early in the first period. So I understand that. But I think the longer you can play those two on separate lines, the better of a continual threat you have.
Yeah, and this better than anybody, Gregor. Like, they're really, really feeling the loss of Zach Hyman as the series goes on. Because, I mean, his availability would have allowed them the luxury of playing Connor and Leon more together. It wouldn't expose the depth as much. It certainly would have given them someone who can, play a little tough against a really tough team, and also maybe make Bobrovsky's life a little bit more hellish than it's been. But you're right. I mean, it's the balance of the lineup is a critical part of this, and you can't overplay those two, because then that opens up the opportunity for the Marchand line and others to really make hay in the series.
When you look at from a Florida perspective and how they've played, and they're not changing anything. Gadjevich is back in; he's healthy. If you're the Panthers, and last year, you had you had 3 kicks at it, and well, actually, you needed a 4th before you finally put the orders down.
Yeah.
You know, what's an area of concern at all about the Panthers? You know, when it comes to not being able to put the orders away.
That they have a systemic problem with closing out opponents. Like, for real. I mean, it's not just last year. They blew game 6 against the Leafs and got shut out. They blew game 4 against Carolina and got shut out. Like, it goes beyond the Cup final last year. They just seem to have this inability when they have a chance to put their opponent down, where they're just going to play one extra game. And then in the case of the Toronto series, it was a game 7. Now, you know, part of the mindset for the Panthers that they've talked about is to treat every series like it is a 7-game series. So they're not going to get flustered if they lose tonight, which I think made part of the mentality of it all. But you know, that's the lane for Edmonton. There's 2 lanes for Edmonton in this series, tonight in this game. One is the Stuart Skinner lane, where he's going to come back and play out of his mind because he got the reset that he needs. And again, like, the first period the other night was not his fault, and he played really well. So who knows? And then the other lane is the fact that the Panthers, like I mentioned off the top, when they've allowed the Oilers into these games and into these series, and into the series, that's when the Oilers have been able to kind of, you know, excel and win games. And I hate saying this, I'm not trying to disparage the Oilers as a you know, they're Western Conference champions. Like, they could easily win the Cup with 2 more wins. But I really think that when you look at the numbers and you look at the disparity of you know, who has a lead and the analytics and all these other things, I mean, I really think it's been a series where the Panthers have been in control, and when they've let their hands slip off the wheel, that's when Edmonton's been able to get into it. So it is, I think, ultimately less about what Edmonton does tonight than it is about what the Panthers do tonight.
When you look at Brad Marchand and his postseason run, you know, same with Sam Bennett. You know, those guys are the first set of teammates since like 1978, Yvon Cournoyer, to have 2 teammates with 5+ goals in the Stanley Cup final. Like, it's rare to see, right? Like, they're both playing well. They're both free agents. Bennett, I think, is going back to Florida. What about Marchand? Where do you think he ends up?
I think he ends up in Toronto. I really do. Like, I think that is the culture changing move that they would make. He's already put it out there that he was a Leafs fan growing up, trying to do the old John Tavares thing, right? You know, it's gonna take a lot of money to get him, because I think that this is his last kick at the can of getting a massive contract, and he's going to want a bunch of dough, and he's going to want a bunch of years. But if there's any team desperate enough to give it to him, it's going to be Toronto. And so I think I'd put it at like 40% he'll be a Leaf next year is where I'd put it, because I don't think he's coming back to Florida. I also don't know if Ekblad's coming back to Florida, to be honest with you. I think they have a number in mind for him, and I don't think he's crazy about the number, and someone else will give him much more than that number on the open market. So then it becomes ultimately, do you really want to leave the situation? Do you really want to leave Gus Forsling rather? Like, what do you want out of life for the next 5 or 6 years? And that'll be ultimately what he decides on.
Greg, as you can tell, Oiler fans are very excited about your pick tonight for the Panthers. So,
I wish it were different. I wish it were different, man. Again, I don't do it with a total, like, locked in faith. I mean, I've seen it myself. I covered the Eastern Conference Final. Like, they've biffed an elimination game before, but I don't know. They're just I feel like they're going to put this thing away tonight, unless something unforeseen happens, like Skinner just stealing one.
I think the hockey world needs a back-to-back game 7s between the same 2 teams. Which
don't we though?
Would
well,
be
what
epic.
the hockey world needs is Connor to win the Cup. Like,
well, in order for that to happen, then we need a game 7, right?
I wrote my piece on the Panthers in case they win tonight, and I got to be honest with you, like, it's a good piece. I really enjoyed writing it, but I'd be much more excited to write a Connor and Leon have their moment kind of deal. Like, that's much more excited to be as a hockey writer and as a hockey fan than to, you know, coronate the Panthers a 2nd straight year. You know what I mean?
Well, there is no shortage of good storylines, right? It's kind of a legacy cup, really, or dynasty. Well, it's not a dynasty if you win 2. To me, you got to win 3 or 3 and 4 years at least to be a real dynasty. I'm not gonna get sucked into everybody always trying to weaken certain terms. A dynasty isn't 2 years in a row. It never has been. It never will be in my eyes. So it's got to be at least 3 and 4. Or 3 in a row to be a dynasty for me. So we'll see. This would be, hey, give the Panthers, if they win, then they're 1 away. And, you know, that would be something to chase for next year. So enjoy the game. What's the temperature in Florida?
Hot. When I got my car before, my car thermometer said 110, but that can't be right. I think that might have been the temperature inside my car. It's hot. The ice will be unforgiving to great offensive players tonight, as per usual, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, Cup's in the building anytime. As Connor said the other day, the Cup will be in the building. It's not here for us, but it'll be in the building. It's one of my favorite lines of the entire playoffs.
Awesome. Thanks, Greg. Have a good one.
Anytime.
There you go. That's Greg Wyshynski from ESPN. And hey, you know what? Order fans, you don't like it. That's okay. He's entitled to his opinion. He doesn't think, he thinks, hey, Florida will put it away tonight. And who knows? That's what's great. Order fans, you better think your team's going to win. What's the point of being a fan? Otherwise, it's like, well, why watch if you think your team's going to lose? Right? I know some people like to protect themselves from like, well, yes, I want to think they're going to win because if they lose, then it's going to be brutal. I'll be disappointed. And I felt that way last year. It sucks. And I totally get it. I understand it. And you don't want it. But at the same time, what do you want more? You want to win for your team. That's just a fact. And I really believe, for a city, and honestly, as a country, like I kind of get tired of the Canada has, and I know that lots of Canadian players play on them. Actually, still the majority of Canadian players play on a lot of these teams. So, it's to say that Canada never wins a cup is not true in that essence, but a Canadian team has not won it. It's since 1993. And it would be nice for a Canadian team to win. And I think for Edmontonians, you would take a massive amount of pride and enjoyment in being the first Canadian team to win. Make no mistake. You would, of course you would. Just imagine the flex you would have as an Oilers fan for the however many years on social media for people. Just all you'd have to do is say Canada's team. You could pop that out and it would just infuriate Leaf fans. It'd be so funny and so simple, and you could do it. 2:42, we got McCarthy, Speck, Struds, Terry Ryan, much, much more coming up. We'll talk a little Elks as well, as they got a season home opener coming up in 2 days' time on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The summer drive event is on now at Buick. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 60 months on the 2025 Buick Envision. Make your presence known with available 20-inch alloy wheels with pearl nickel finish. Showcase your style with available quilted perforated front leather-appointed seats. And radiate confidence on any drive with Buick's suite of standard safety features. Get behind the wheel of your Buick Envision today. Ask your Buick dealer for details.
The Edmonton International Airport presents the Edmonton Elks home opener, taking on the Montreal Alouettes with new in-house band, new food items, Superdogs halftime show, and more. June 19th at 7 p.m. Tickets on sale now at goelks.com.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order noodle at noodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order noodle at noodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order noodle.ca. Noodle.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
Canada's best bedroom sale continues at The Brick. Make your bedroom a dream come true with incredible savings. Like up to 40% off bedroom furniture and select mattresses, up to $1,500 off sectionals, and up to 25% off dining packages, TV stands, wall units, and electric fireplaces. Plus, buy more, save more. Up to an additional $500 off select brands of major appliances. Some exclusions apply. See thebrick.com for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Saturday, June 21st, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Edmonton Street Rod Association marks 40 years with a summer cruise at White Mud Equine Center. Spectators welcome. Admission is free. Hear it before you see it. Supported by Sports 1440.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Are you an elite athlete or weekend warrior and you just want to enjoy playing the sport you love with less or even no pain? Have you tried every exercise and stretch imaginable, hoping the next one might do the trick? Well, you tried analog. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe healing can move along better and sometimes even faster with evidence-based technology techniques and the people who know how and when to apply it. StimPod, zero-gravity treadmills, radial shockwave, and so much more at your fingertips when you click to find us at leadingedgephysio.com.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Culligan for all your residential water needs. Your local water treatment company, more than just big bottles, Culligan.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.245, welcome back. Tuesday afternoon. We are live and on the rocks. Jasper Ave and 118th Street, where, hey, there's a little construction on Jasper Ave, but it's worth it. Slog through it, and you get here to OTR, and man, the atmosphere is unreal. There's already orders jerseys as people getting set to watch the game. Big screens all over the place. It's unbelievable vantage. There's no bad seat in the house, so you got you can sit in booths and almost have like your own, because they got the new TVs on the pillars now. It's almost like having your own TV right in your own booth. So you do not have to look far to have a great vantage point of the game tonight at OTR. It is the Gregor Show, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Now, Oilers, underdog on the road tonight. You're feeling confident? It's the place to do it. Odds boost on Oilers game days at PlayAlberta.ca. Good luck. Also, of course, you got the Oilers tonight and a Game 7 Friday. In between, the Edmonton Elks will have their home opener as we get to the Elks Report, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest, for 1 year on your AC unit. Keep cool all summer long at legacyheating.ca. We're joined by Sam Linebacker, who last season had a very productive rookie campaign with the Elks, 51 tackles, 4 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and now he's at the Sam linebacker position. Cordell Jackson joins us. Cordell, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing. How you doing, Gregor?
I'm excellent, man. Year number 2. How much? I don't know if easier is a fair word or not, but how much more comfortable are you heading into year number 2, having played the league and now you know kind of the field width and you know everything, the guy in motion, the waggle? How much easier is it for you this year?
I'm definitely more comfortable now. Just being my first year, it was a lot to see, a lot to learn. So now I feel like I learned a little more, got a little more experience behind me, seen a little more as far as the route concepts and the OCs. So I feel a little more comfortable now for sure.
Now, you played a little bit of halfback last year as well. Now you're at the Sam linebacker position. The way they implement the Sam, it kind of, you can be physical, but also your ball hockey, very good tackler. Kind of feel that it matches your skill set well?
Yes, sir. You have to be versatile to play Sam, be able to cover, be able to blitz, be able to run game, and also drop into some zone coverages. So it's really exciting just to be there. You can have more action than you will at half.
Most guys, they say the closer you are to the ball in a line of scrimmage, you have your opportunity to make more plays. What did you've had 2 weeks off after the BC loss. What did you see from your defense that you feel you guys need to improve on and can improve on Thursday night?
Definitely improve on everybody. Just continue to do their job. We had a strong first half, and now we just got to finish strong in the second half of the game.
What did you think went wrong in the second half?
I think it was just more of probably fatigue. It was the first game of the year that we played a full game. So I think that's really more than anything, just being comfortable and just making sure everybody's doing their job the entire game. That's all it was.
Cordell Jackson joins us. Cordell, what's your first impressions of your new defensive coordinator, JC Sheraton, how he calls the game?
I love JC, man. He plays, well, he calls games like he plays, man. He's very aggressive, and we don't leave anything out.
Do you when your coach played as recent as he does, like in film work, are you guys watching like as a joke? Does he ever show film of him playing?
Oh, he definitely throws a few of his teach takes in there from his time, man. It's definitely funny, but it's also great to have just to know that he's done the things that he's asking us to do. So we really do love that as well.
So you've had, I guess the one advantage about having a bye week so early is, had extra time to kind of focus on this Montreal offense. And it's, they love to disguise things. What do you have to be leery of against Montreal that maybe they do different than other teams?
Like you said, there's a lot of emotions, a lot of eye candy. We just got to make sure that we see the final set and the final picture, and that'll help you out a lot.
I like what you said there, eye candy. So they're basically, it's like they have a lot of distractions. So how do you know when to pick out what's the distraction and what's actually going to be the set play?
I think it's a feel for the game and just the moments in the game and how early something is or how late it is. We know as their coordinator, Moss, man, he's very aggressive. He likes to close out games. So we just got to remember his mindset as we're going in for the game to play.
Now, you went to Austin. How do you pronounce it? Is Austin, PA? How do you pronounce the college you went to?
It's Austin P University in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Okay, so Austin P University in Tennessee. And, how big of what's the campus like there?
It's a nice size campus. It's don't get me to telling the story. I'm not sure what the number is, but it's a nice size campus. It's D1 FCS.
Okay, are we talking is it 5,000, 10,000? Is that big? I don't even obviously I know some of the schools are massive, but
it's not that big. Let me see. I'm really not sure about the number, but if I had to guess, I'll go about right in the middle, about 7,000, 8,000.
Okay. And what'd you take in school?
Health and human performance major with a minor in coaching.
In coach, so when you're done, is coaching what you want to do? You want to be a JC Sheraton?
Yeah, definitely. I love ball, man. I always want to be around it.
Now, were you always a defensive player growing up, Cordell?
No, I actually played offense. In Little League, I played running back. In high school, I was a receiver and a defensive back.
And what made you gravitate towards the defensive side of the ball?
I love to be able to anticipate what somewhere else is going, and lock down the side of the field. I feel like it's a lot of power in that.
Oh, that's fair. Now as a DB, there's lots that they talk about. Anticipation's a big one. If the receivers always talk about, man, if I get the DB to open up his hips, now I got him. So having been a receiver and now you're the DB, what do you feel is your best attributes that allows you, to be able to cover guys?
Patience and body language from receivers. Because if they're trying to sell something too hard, then 9 times out of 10, that's not what they're running. So just learning that from playing receiver, if I'm overselling something, then 9 times out of 10, I'm not going that way.
Do you watch a lot of film? Can you see, do guys have tells as a receiver where they do certain things that, okay, this is what he does on this play? Can you watch that on film and pick it up?
Yeah, people naturally do things subconsciously. So it's probably something that you won't even pick up if you're watching yourself. But most people do have tells as far as the speed, or they'll fix their gloves or something like that to where it's a pass play or it's a pass option play.
And Cordell, how are you on the field? Are you a quiet guy? Do you like to talk smack?
That's a tricky question. Because if I have to be, I can definitely be the trash talker. But
Okay.
most of the time, I'm the level-headed guy.
Okay,
Just trying
so
to get everybody together.
okay, now who? Because everybody always tells me you need a few trash talkers on defense. It's just how it goes.
Yes,
you
you
need
do.
somebody. So who's the trash talkers on the Elks?
You got Nick Anderson. You got Fat Bynum. You got Bynum, the Vidric.
Now, why do you guys call him Fat Bynum?
Fat is just his nickname, and everybody calls him Fat instead of Dividric or Bynum.
Okay, so he likes to get it. So you're one of the guys. You won't necessarily be the leader, but sometimes you're like, you know what? If I feel now's the time to get involved more, you feel that
if we need one. If we need a trash talker, I can be that guy for sure.
Okay. Do you enjoy it when your teammate talks trash? Like, does that elevate your game? Like, okay, we're in the game here now.
Yes, it does. It's always just good to let them know that you got their back, no matter what. So if they take it there for sure, I'm going there with them.
Cordell Jackson joins us now. What about on your offensive side? I know you guys do, you go reps and scaling, you're going up against the offense. Who's the best trash talker on the offensive side of your team?
It's the running back, and then you got Ted. So you got Justin Rankin, who is the king trash talker for sure. Ooh. He would definitely get you out of your element. And then you got Ted from on the offensive line.
Okay. So now what is it about Rankin that makes him so good? Like, does he go deep or is he just quick-witted?
No, it's his word play. He'll catch you off guard with some of the things that he say. You guys definitely got to talk to him. He's one of those.
We're gonna have to get that on. I like it. And you're very confident saying, "Hey, he's the king of it." So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, Cordell, best of luck on Thursday night. Hopefully, you guys get a win and even up the series and get off to a good start on home field.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for having me.
You betcha. That's Cordell Jackson. I'm gonna have to watch Rankin now. I was like getting those little interesting tidbits, right? And like I knew that Nick Anderson. It's funny, we've had Nick on the show, and Nick is honestly like well-spoken, one of the best interviews we've had. So it doesn't really surprise me. But there's some guys who are super nice, and then they get on the field and they like Bynum. I've heard before. You've seen it. Like he likes to get in guys' grills, and you need that on a defense. I remember Lester had said on the offensive line, you need one guy who's a complete prick. You just do, right? And it brings up everybody. And when you have a few of them, it's better. And on defense, you just need a few guys who trash. Some guys, they don't trash talk at all. They don't need it. They don't like it, but they like it when their teammates do it, if that makes any sense. Cons, I know. Were you a trash talker when you played, Cons?
No, I wasn't good enough to.
So.
You got to be able to back it up. I was sitting on the sidelines. I was more of the team builder, pumping the tires. But I love it. Like especially at the DB position. Like I feel like that's just kind of their mantra. Like you just see the receivers getting all the love and all the time, and kind of being that diva reputation. And then when they don't get the ball and they're getting frustrated, I think a good DB pounces on that, just gets right up in their face and lets them know. So it's funny to hear that. The certain players out there doing it, and Nick Anderson, I mean, like you said, he's so well spoken, so polite to us. It's funny to hear that he can just flip that switch and be on the field and live up to that linebacker status.
We're gonna have to get Rankin on the show.
So, he's solid.
Yeah, just because of I like his game style, but as a trash talker, we might have to get him in studio one time. We got a little bit more time and kind of go into it. So, where obviously there's certain things you'll say. Like it was interesting. I read, I think it might have been Friedman talking about how people are saying like this is. An ultimate trash talking series between the Oilers and the Panthers. And I get it. You've got a lot of players on both teams, but you also it's rare to go back to back for the most important trophy in your sport. Right. So Florida took it from the Oilers last year. Right now they earned it. They deserved it. But Edmonton was right there. They felt like they had a chance. And that annoys you. Like you're not going to be chummy. I get it. So, that's why, man, the Oilers, I'm sure the Panthers, if they get up in games, there's some of the easy ones, but they'll try to get in your head. And I think maybe early in this series, I think they were, because I thought Edmonton was off their game. They're trying a little bit too much physicality, and not even hard hitting physicality, just kind of dumb penalty physicality. And now the last few games, I'll give Edmonton credit. They've okay, guys, enough's enough. They've gone away. They're not getting involved in the scrums or whatever. But I'll tell you right now, if you're the Oilers and you win tonight, you're going to be beacon because now it gets into mental warfare a little bit. And then, hey, obviously anything can happen in a one-game shot. And, selfishly, I want a Game 7 because I love Game 7s in any sport. But for the city, I think for the sport, like to see a rematch back-to-back Game 7s in a Canadian market, as I mentioned earlier, it's happened twice since the expansion in 1967, 1968. Twice. 87 Game 7 in Edmonton, 2011 Game 7 in Vancouver. And Oiler fans, you would love nothing more than to have a second opportunity for a Game 7 on home ice. And I'll tell you, we've got a lot of texts when I mentioned that today is the second time the Oilers have ever played a game on June 17th. Obviously, it's rare to play this late in the season. When the Oilers were winning their cups, the games weren't this late. This is only the second time they played on June 17th. The first time was Game 6, 2006 in Edmonton. It's the loudest I've ever been at the old Rexall place. It was pandemonium in there. Half an hour before the game. We got a lot of people who have texted in saying they were there. Greg's that's the loudest building ever. It's probably why I have hearing aids. And I'll tell you, they win tonight. I think Game 7 on Friday night would give them a run. Even though the acoustics aren't the same. I think the energy. You got a few more thousand people. Maybe it could match them. We'll see. Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. Planning a summer road trip? Well, make sure your first stop is at Fountain Tire. From tire checks to oil changes, alignment, and brake inspections. They do it all. One-stop shop. FountainTire.com. Book your appointment today.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day down in Sunrise. The Oilers look to even up their series with the Florida Panthers, trailing 3-2. Puck drop just after 6. We've got pregame coverage for you with Andrew Walker and Donovan Paulson right here on Sports 1440. For the Oilers roster-wise, Kapanen and Klingberg draw in with Arvidsson and Stecher coming out. Skinner gets to start between the pipes. The schedule for the men's hockey tournament at the 2026 Olympic Games in Italy has been released. Canada will be in Group A in the group stage against Switzerland, Czechia, and France. First game will go against the Czech on February 12th. Major League Baseball today, the Blue Jays in action, hosting the Diamondbacks. That one gets going just after 5 o'clock. We've also got the Yankees and Angels, Twins in Cincinnati, Rays host the Orioles, Brewers taking on the Cubs, Red Sox in Seattle, and the Dodgers meet the Padres. In the WNBA, Fever hosts the Sun, Dream taking on the Liberty, and the Wings up against the Valkyries. That gets going just after 6. Riverhawks in action tonight down at Remax Field, taking on the Bellingham Bells. First pitch, 7:05. Also, you got Gold Cup Soccer Canada taking on Honduras. That'll start at 8:30. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by our co-host and former NHLer Terry Ryan, also Dave McCarthy from SiriusXM, and Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sports book with odds boosts on all Oilers games.
How are you? And
now,
welcome.
It's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
McDonald's summer drink days are back.
5, welcome.
It's officially summer. Enjoy your refreshing small Coca-Cola or small iced coffee for just $1 all summer. Summer's booming with summer drink days. Excludes flavored iced coffee at participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
At Fitted Golf, we know that you continue to believe.
It's not my clubs. Really, it's my swing.
Except it's already June and you're still not playing the game you want because you continue to insist it's not your clubs. Except it really is your clubs. And we prove it every day. Fitted Golf customers continue to be amazed at how good they actually are when they use the right clubs for their swing. Why would you play the game you love but not love the way you play it? From beginners to pros, Fitted Golf makes all the difference. Visit fittedgolf.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310-GLASS or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
You have a choice, and it's a hard one. GMC employee pricing or 0% financing at Wolf GMC Buick. A hard choice, but also super awesome. Get GMC employee pricing on our Sierra lineup, from the Sierra half-ton to the heavy duties. If you have cash, get discounts over $12,000 on many of our Sierras, along with GMC pricing. Or choose 0% financing on our Sierra half-ton lineup. And what a great selection of GMC Terrains and fabulous Buick SUVs to pick from. So many choices. But one thing's for sure, you are getting the best deal at Wolf GMC Buick.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com. Girl Pop rules the ballpark as your Edmonton Riverhawks throw a dance party this Thursday night. Sing along and enjoy dance and baton twirling performances, then show off your best moves on the field. Get your tickets today to watch the Hawks play at gohawks.ca.
Mr. Ruther toasts the newlyweds. A relationship is like a hot water tank. It brings warmth, but only if you start with a spark. Your love is the pilot light, and the burner is your love growing from that tiny spark. And the anti-corrosion anode rod is the sacrifices you make for each other to keep things from getting all gross and crusty. May your love last as long as a Mr. Ruther workmanship guarantee. For life.
For a plumber you'll keep for life, call Mr. Ruther.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. The team in Old Strathcona have special training dedicated to reducing the impact of cancer care before, during, and after your diagnosis. From lymphedema to the management of fatigue and side effects of chemotherapy and radiation, they can help. Learn more at leadingedgephysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 3 o'clock, welcome back. The countdown is on. 3 hours, 15 minutes. Puck drop, game 6. Tonight, you can watch it here at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, or 118th Street. Some of you are going to be watching at home. Some of you will be going to the watch party, the Moss Pit, maybe your neighborhood party. Some of you are like, I just want to watch it by myself. Some of you won't be watching. Guys, got a lot of texts. I'm too stressed. I won't watch. I'll just get updates on my phone. I would find that to be more. I'd be checking my phone every few minutes. I'd find that would be worse, wouldn't it? Like, I don't know. That's I respect the people because they say, hey, I get too nervous. I don't want to watch it. Now, there's some that are superstitious, like, oh, geez, when I watch, they lose. But if you've watched the last few games and they lost, then maybe you should switch it up if you're that type of stitious. I don't know. But either way, enjoy it. You can get in the game. PlayAlberta.ca. As, of course, tonight, Oilers, fairly big underdog. So you can check it out at PlayAlberta.ca. Plus 137. Ooh, not bad. Not bad at all. As we welcome in former NHLer, first-round draft pick of the Montreal Canadiens. So when the draft was right here in Edmonton, stars as Hitch on Shoresy. Terry Ryan joins us. TR, what's happening? Are you there, my man? You might be muted. There you go. We'll see.
Am I good again?
Now you're good, buddy. Now you're good.
What happens when I put the mic? I just did a podcast down here. Derek Roy, Tales with TR. Check it out tomorrow. But I don't know. Something happens when I transfer over. As long as you can hear me and it's acceptable. Thank you for asking. I'm doing all right. I just did my motorcycle course last weekend, which was wild. But and visited a lot of friends. Had a lot going on the last week. But nothing more inspiring, anxiety-inducing in a good way than tonight. Here we go. Here we go. This is what heroes are made of. This is what heroes are made of. And it's a big moment for a whole nation and for a whole team. But I'm looking at the legacy guys, Draisaitl, McDavid. I'm looking at McDavid. And one of my buddies brought up earlier when we were skating, not that you asked, but when we were skating, he said, if I'm McDavid, I'm pumped. And I'm going, pumped? is one thing. I guess, you'd hate to be down 3-2 in this situation, but you know what? This is what legacy moments are. This is what they're made of. There's usually in a moment like this, someone of that ilk, rises to the top. Why can't it be his time? Name any star. I know it's tough to do with all these teams and everything, but if you're the best, you're the best. And I guess from that perspective, you'd kind of be pumped. You got to have a situation like this presented to you in order to create it. It just doesn't happen. And here we are. A nation needs you, buddy. And I know it's a lot of pressure. And if they don't do it, it won't hurt his legacy to me at all. If he wins a Stanley Cup, of course, it'll help and it'll throw him on Rushmore. But I don't think it'd hurt him. He does so well and he gets them there. And they just a great team. And they ran into a few roadblocks here with Florida. But yeah, this is what moments are made of for players of this stature.
Oh, yeah, no question. I think you'd rather be in this, having the opportunity to send it to a Game 7 than sitting at home and watching the game at home. There's no question about it. Now, I just before we get to it, are you wearing like a 1990s tracksuit going on there?
Universal Studios got it about a year and a little bit ago down with my daughter Penny Lane when we went.
Oh, buddy, but that's like a retro one. It looks like it's kind of got like the purple and the blue. Like seriously, I thought we were going to do some jazzercise or something right now.
Yeah, I like it. It's back. I feel like, an episode of Baywatch in the 90s or whatever. Anything goes. Look, orange and gray beneath. Yeah. It's just everything clashes, everything. But here we are. It's
like the yellow stripes. Honestly, like, wasn't it Hal? What was his show on the Canadian? Like they're running and they were the exercise people.
Yeah, I remember that.
Connor, do you remember the name of that show?
Body Break.
Body Break. There you go. Yeah. Like you look like you look like you got a Body Break jacket on right now. Like,
yeah. You know what? I'm taking that as a compliment.
Dude, seriously, it reminds me, I had a sick when I played in Leduc in minor hockey. We had this blue and yellow one. It was my favorite jacket of all. I can't stop focusing on it. I know people are listening to the radio like, what are you talking about? Like, well, obviously their show's on YouTube, so I see TR. And the minute I saw your jacket, I just had a flashback to my this unreal blue and yellow jacket I had as a 12-year-old in Leduc. I freaking loved it. And I'm like, God, I would get one of those again. We even had them again. I think when we got a new one when I played junior for the Riggers. It was sick. I don't know what happened to that jacket, but God, like I loved it. Like seriously, I might have to. Nowadays, you can get anything, so I might have to go back and order one of those again. God.
So my parents are hoarders when it comes to that. You didn't keep any of that stuff?
No. Like I'm a minimalist. Like I can't. Like I don't do well with stuff like. Now I'm sure your parents are probably smart and they boxed it all the way and put it up nice. In hindsight, I wish I would have done it. Right? Like there's lots of things that I've never been that, but there's not many things that I look back and say, God, I wish I still had that. But that's one. When I see your jacket, I'm like, God, I wish I still had that thing. I loved it. Yeah, it's like these blue pants, TR. So when I switched, I went to Leduc as a 19-year-old and junior. Not that you asked. And when I was 19, I'd won a trip to Vegas at a hall party. But I wasn't 21, so going to Vegas didn't make any sense. So we switched it and we went to LA. My brother was 21 and I was 19. We went to LA. We went to like Six Flags. We rented like a convertible Mustang, made the mistake of, driving because I was like, oh, let's just go see Compton. Probably wasn't the brightest decision by a white kid. Like
a convertible Mustang, a 19-year-old from Edmonton.
Wasn't the best decision. But so when we went down there, they had a lot of clothes in LA that we didn't have in Edmonton. And they had these like the velvet kind of like a velvety suede pair of pants. And they were like kind of bright royal blue. And then the shirt was like 4 squares. One was yellow, one was red, one was blue, and one was green. And it was like a combo outfit. And buddy, I loved it. And those pants, like the guys on my team hated it, but the ladies, they couldn't resist it. They were unreal. And the boys, I'm like, if there's one thing I wish I had, it was those blue pants. Because God, they were so awesome.
And you got rid of it all. I bet your Struddy still has all that stuff.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, Struddy's fashion never changed. Mine, I just kind of, I don't know. I think I outgrew it or something. But yeah, it's like, I wish I would have kept those pants of anything in my life, even maybe more than the jacket. But it could go well together. That's the thing.
What's the oldest piece of clothing you have?
Did
anything survive? A Rock T-shirt from 1987?
No, nothing. I probably have I have like a Golden Boy T-shirt. Right, like it's a black T-shirt that's being around. Like it's just plain black, but it's pretty thin now and kind of almost see-through. I had a Doors shirt, but even, and honestly, it just wore out. Like literally I washed it, and the last time I washed it, it kind of disintegrated in the wash.
You got your money's worth.
Yeah. But yeah, I do have a black t-shirt that, it's like Golden Boy off of Seinfeld. That, he's still going through the wash, buddy. Comes in all the time. He's ready to roll.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. So, but hey, let's get to the game now. And you mentioned McDavid. I wrote about it today, and I was talking about like the big moments we met, the Messier guarantee, even though, I'm not sure he ever actually said guarantee, just said we're going to win, and people blew it up, but still it worked out. He had a natural hat trick in the third period. They were trailing for 38 minutes of that game, and then he assisted Kovalev, and then he had the natural hattie. Wayne Gretzky against the Leafs in his hometown as the Kings, his only ever hat trick for the Kings. Game 7 with an assist. They win 5-4. I talked in baseball, the perfect game. Connor McDavid last year, game
perfect
5.
Game, you Don Larson.
Yes, Don Larson.
Should be considered, I think, one of the best performances of all time. People don't even talk about it anymore. I'm like, perfect game in the World Series. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's like it's the perfect game. You literally can't be better. Like,
it's unbelievable.
Better than that? Yeah. Magic Johnson is a rookie when Abdul-Jabbar got out, and he goes, "I'll play center," and then he drops 42 and 15 boards and 7 assists. And Connor McDavid's 2 goals, 2 assists in Game 5 last year in Florida. That goal to set up Corey Perry was unreal. Perry just literally had to tap it in after McDavid danced through everybody. Like, he's had those games, but TR this year in the playoffs, he really hasn't had. He's had moments, right? Going by Jack Eichel in Game 2 overtime to set up Draisaitl. The play around Barkov and Ekblad to get to Draisaitl, sure, but he hasn't had like a game, and that's where I think I don't take it for granted that he's capable of it, but he's capable of having a game. And tonight on the road, God, they need it.
Exactly, like I said, and even outside of like the regular games, you look at Olympics or big game, like look at Lemieux in '87, look at Crosby in 2010. It just usually seems to be, even Bobby Orr when he scored the goal. I know it wasn't Game 7 or anything. I think it was Game 6, wasn't it? But still, these players, these like legacy generational guys, they usually just find a way, even if it's right place, right time. Now with McDavid, because he's usually so dominant, it wouldn't be surprising me if he gets 5 points tonight, but he's going to be dialed in. The other thing is, Florida know that, and I wouldn't want to be playing Florida when they have 3 games won and they got 1 game, so they're going to be dogs. But you knew that going in, and every legacy player, generational player that we named here, they all face the same odds. You're talking about Don Larson. We're talking about the World Series, right? No one. I'm not talking about games. I mean, Crosby. We're talking about the final here. We're talking about Lemieux. 6-5 against Russia when Russia in their last game. Like, so yes, it's a lot to expect. Can anybody do it? If anybody can do it, he can. And it's not a one-person team either. I get it. The orders are really deep. I think the orders really too. A lot of people aren't talking about enough how they miss Hyman because it's eating up minutes. Yes, but he's matches. They're all going hard. But I think they really miss him. But I'm just from a star perspective, if you didn't know much about the sport and you heard that the second year in a row, the best player by a wide margin, critically acclaimed worldwide, the very best player is in the finals twice, you're kind of waiting for a game like this later in the series. So is it a lot to expect? Yes. But when you have that status, I think we're okay to expect it.
Oh, 100%. Now, he doesn't have to have a 4-goal performance or anything like that, but just, him or Draisaitl, that's just, hey, that kind of part and parcel goes with it. And you can't do it every game because it's not that easy, right? And it's hard to even do it tonight. But just the fact that, he mentioned the other day, hey, we haven't had our best, including myself. Draisaitl reiterated today. And TR, to me, it's all about the first period because the orders have been I can't sugarcoat it. They've been junk in the first period. Especially the last 3 games, outscored 7-0, outshot 37-20. To me, a lot of this game will tell me where the Oilers' heads are at with how they play in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, and the deeper we get, I think you run out of excuses because penalties in the first period, that's obvious, right? Penalties in the offensive zone is obvious. I know some are accidents. Control your stick. Whatever has to happen, guys. We can't take 3 and 4 penalties in the first period. And I know one of those games, Florida had just as many, but just imagine if that was power plays for us instead. You know what I mean? So there's no way to cut it that can't happen. But you also need to be disciplined. Like I don't think anybody even needs to say anything in that room. They will, but like everybody knows exactly what's at stake here. And if they start better, it's not only logical, but it's analytical. You look at the results and look at what happens when they put themselves in a tough position, and look at what happens though they come back. We're in game 6 here, possibly game 7, but how are we doing it? I know that because Edmonton are the kings of coming back and facing that adversity, whether it's the beginning of the year slump, or whether it's a particular game, or whether it's playoffs or whatever, they always seem to put themselves in this position. And so I know Florida are a great team, and they've been dominant, and it's hard. They're a hard dragon to slay, but really the Oilers have done a lot of this to themselves. I don't think it's as lopsided as it should be when it comes to, like, everybody's talking about who holds the lead the longest. A lot of it is just if you give a team like Florida, there's so many chances, of course. And even I know Marchand is playing great, like really, and I'm proud of, as a hockey player, and and I know what it's like to be older and not to be an NHLer at that age, but definitely to be an aging athlete. And I really rooted for my buddies that I watched grow old with me. And now I'm looking at that guy, and he's in the same position, and all the credit to him. But a couple of these goals are either you take your winger. I mean, I don't know if I would have got benched my 3rd game in the Western Hockey League if I didn't do that. And it led to, he's one of the best players in the world. People are contemplating, is he a Hall of Famer? I don't know, but I don't give a rookie that opportunity. That's just hockey 101. So a lot of it's completely avoidable.
Yeah. Love it. TR, we'll take a quick break. Dave McCarthy's going to join us next. We got Struddy and Spec coming up. 5 questions or more on a busy Tuesday edition. The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca, coming to you live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street.
The Edmonton International Airport presents the Edmonton Elks home opener, taking on the Montreal Alouettes with new in-house band, new food items, Super Dogs halftime show, and more. June 19th at 7 p.m. Tickets on sale now at goelks.com.
The summer drive event is on now at Buick. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 60 months on the 2025 Buick Envision. Make your presence known with available 20-inch alloy wheels with pearl nickel finish. Showcase your style with available quilted perforated front leather-appointed seats. And radiate confidence on any drive with Buick's suite of standard safety features. Get behind the wheel of your Buick Envision today. Ask your Buick dealer for details.
Get ready to revolutionize your job site with Edmonton Kubota's game-changing compact construction equipment. From mini excavators and skid steers to track loaders, carriers, and utility vehicles, they have a model to fit every need, all powered by legendary Kubota diesel engines. These machines are built for performance and reliability. Transform your work with Edmonton Kubota's top-of-the-line compact equipment. Visit them today and see why they're the name you can trust for power and precision.
Some jobs are easy, and some jobs are not. When the going gets tough and the job is tough, GS Construction hires good people to get the job done right. So, if you know it takes teamwork, grit, and the utmost care to work underground, you just might be who we're looking for. Right now, GS Construction is hiring experienced foremen to join our crew. Apply today at gsconstruction.ca. And remember, from the first manhole to the final tie-in, we've got your back. GS Construction. Tough jobs, good people.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the Japa Machinery Group service or sales teams, you can be part of setting a new industry standard. Celebrating a legacy of excellence with Japa. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators. The action never stops on Sports 1440.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadians for $5.25. OTR's TVs, hey, they're so clear you'll see the puck better than the ref. That ain't hard, is it? And every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, specials start 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocks.com.
Oodle Noodle Origins.
In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient, but his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the New World. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as
Oodle Noodle.
You can expect two things this spring, oil country: playoff beards and weird car noises after coming back from winter LTIR. Don't let something like a worn-out transmission or squeaky brakes keep you from catching the playoffs. Whether you need quality brakes, top brand oils, or a battery with more energy than 97 on the ice, Napa Auto Parts has all your trusted parts, tools, equipment, and automotive needs to keep your vehicle in winning shape for the games ahead. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. What's the best way to beat tariffs? Buy Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money. Support Canada at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
3:27. Welcome back. Less than 3 hours to puck drop. The Oilers and the Florida Panthers. It's nerves, it's excitement, probably a combination of both for you. Some of you are just patiently waiting to see what will unfold. Well, patiently is probably a lie. Who am I kidding? Very few of you are patient right now. Probably more nervous than anything else to see what's going to happen tonight. Oilers with an opportunity to push it to Game 7. Back-to-back Game 7s, same teams. Oh, it'd be awesome. Just for the rivalry. Kidding me? It'd be unreal. Each team having a home ice advantage in the 7 games. You know what? You could have no excuses that say, hey, everything's even here at the end. If the Oilers can get a win tonight, then they'll get to the 14th game, and each team will have had 7 at home and 7 on the road. As we get in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical. Their technicians are fully trained. Uniform. They got the independent division that they got the new bucket truck with a working height of over 45 meters. It can help you with all exterior lighting, electrical repairs, and more. It's a one-stop shop. They got everything at actionelectrical.net. As Dave McCarthy from SiriusXM, host of the brunch on Sundays, as well as ice caps during the week, joins us. Davey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm ready to go, boys. I'm looking forward to Game 6 tonight. We got ice cap coming up after the game, and quite honestly, I'd like to work again on Friday if that's okay with everybody. So I'm not trying to be unbiased here, but I'm rooting for me, and I'd like to work again on Friday, and I think Edmonton would be happy to hear that.
Well, yeah, I think the Oilers, the Oilers fans, they want, and really, like Edmonton winning this game wouldn't be like, it's not a massive upset if they find a way to win. Because I agree with them. I don't think, now the concern is it's been 5 games and Edmonton really hasn't played their best. They've had a few stretches here and there, but their first periods lately, my God, they've been brutal, right? Like it's worse than TR's pickup lines as a 16-year-old. It hasn't been good, but when you look at the Oilers, Dave, tonight, and kind of if you had to give me 3 keys that the Oilers can win, what are they?
Oh, man, I feel like I got to yield to Terry after he took that shrapnel there, but I'm sure he'll get to that a little bit later on when I'm off the air. Well, 3 keys for the Oilers. Look, they got to score the first goal. I know it's a cliche, but it is more meaningful tonight for a couple of reasons. One, they haven't done it very often in this series. Two, when you get closer to clinching and you get the first goal and you're on home ice, you can really start to get rolling, and then you can crush the soul of your opponent, especially when you play the way that Florida does when they get up in games. And three, for I guess the converse reason, like I don't think Edmonton can chase this game. If they're chasing the game, especially early, I think they put themselves in a really, really difficult spot. So like this would be the time for Connor McDavid to goal legend is the word, but like make an impact in the first period. That's where he needs to make an impact and put his mark on the game to get the Oilers feeling good about themselves and get them up early, and then that entirely changes the way they can play. So those would be, the things that I'd look at. And I guess if you want me to add another reason, at large, their power play needs to be more effective. I don't think it's been very good at all in this series.
TR?
Well, I have a lot to ask, but I'm going to start with this. As of now, who do you think, I know you were considering it on Twitter, I forget what you came up with, but who do you think is the leading candidate for the Conn Smythe Trophy right now, David?
Well, I think it comes down to 5 guys. I think there's 3 on Florida. I think there's 2 on Edmonton. For Edmonton, I think it's Leon Draisaitl, and then somewhere down the line is Connor McDavid, unless he has a pair of, legacy-defining games. Game 6 and 7, that could alter the course of the voting. And then for Florida, I think it comes down to Sam Bennett, to Bradley Marchand, and to Sergei Bobrovsky. I think you could build a case for Alex Barkov. He's done a really good job of keeping Point and Kucherov under control, keeping Matthews under control, keeping most of Carolina under control, and here again in this series, keeping, quite honestly, McDavid under control at even strength. I think you could build a case, but I think that's too nuanced for a lot of the people who are voting. Not a swipe at the people who are voting, but it's hard to overlook what Marchand's done in this series. 6 goals. What Sam Bennett has done throughout the playoffs, the impact that he's had, and Sergei Bobrovsky, his consistent level of goaltending from start to finish. He's played every minute. He's never got pulled. He's come up with timely saves. I can draw an example back to Game 5 when I thought the best Edmonton played in that game was the first 5 minutes. Connor Brown had a chance early, made a glove save like he was sitting in a rocking chair, calm, easy, no panic. The 2-on-1, he was in good position. Edmonton never really ended up getting a shot out of it, and then Florida took the game over from there. If he's scrambling on any of those and those pucks go in the net, totally different game potentially, the way it plays out. So, look, I think if I had to pick right now, presuming Florida wins tonight, I think it's going to be tough to overlook what Marchand's done in this Cup final. I know it's a full playoff award, but he's been unbelievable in this Cup final. And I think oftentimes the voting comes down to what have you done for me lately? And Bradley's done a lot for me lately if I'm the Panthers.
Now, speaking of him, okay, let's just, because there's all kinds of guys, there's all kinds of fits throughout the league. Is Sam Bennett going to leave? Who knows? Just leaving that all in its own box. Marchand, if you're the Leafs, do you give him 4 years at 7?
4 years at 7? Yeah. I don't think that gets it done, though. I don't think that gets it done.
You don't think? Okay, I've heard lots of stuff thrown around. I'm like, well, to me, it's the 4 years.
7 mil?
All day long, right? Wouldn't you, Jason?
I know it. He's 37, and I'm like I'd do a 3-year deal, but 4 years. If I'm doing 4 years, my AV's got to be lower.
But
for him to extend that at that age,
could they pull a Tanev?
Well, I think that's where the 4th year comes from, and I think, quite honestly, that's why the cap hit in your scenario was 7 and not 8, because I think to get him to come up here, they're going to have to overpay him. There's going to be options, and tax is tax in Ontario. I don't have to tell you guys, jealous as I am, those of you who live in Alberta, it costs more money. So you're going to have to overpay him to an extent. He's making 6 and change right now. So 7, the cap is going up. It's more or less what he's getting paid right now, based on percentage of the cap. And I don't
And you're in
want
Canada, you're making more money.
True. U.S. dollars in Toronto, man. If he ever delivered anything in Toronto, he wouldn't need money anymore. Wouldn't need money anymore. But the other thing is, no, I get the fact that he's going to be 38. He's shown he can still play at a high level. At some point, the wheels will fall off. Doesn't appear that it's going to be next year. The Leafs, realistically, have 2 or 3 years here. Then when Matthews' contract is up, I fear there's going to be pain coming. So I quite honestly am not too concerned about the 4th year at this point. It's really all about the next 3 years in Toronto. If that's what it takes, I'd be willing to do it at 7. At 8+, now you're pushing. But I thought you were going to say 8, Terry. But 7, yeah, I'd do that all day long. I really would, because he changes the way this team plays. There's a difference in him compared to most of the cats they've got in that room right now, and he would make an impact. And I think if you're the Leafs, you got to be willing to go down that road.
Dave McCarthy from Sirius XM joins us. Dave, Stuart Skinner, I don't think it's a surprise that he's starting. He's the guy. I would have started him in Game 5, to be honest. Arvidsson's out, Stetcher's out. Not a huge surprise by either one, but I look at the defense pairs and the Kulak-Nurse one. Kulak, I prefer him on the left side than the right side. I think Wallman's the better of the lefties to play the right side, and the way they practiced today, Wallman was left with Klingberg and Kulak was right with Nurse. I don't think it's going to last in the game, and I think we're going to see, Kulak more on the left. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. I would expect Chris Knobloch, depending on how the game goes, to be very active in terms of how he manipulates his lineup. I mean, how many times have we seen Connor Brown start on the first line, and then before you know it, Perry's taking shifts with Draisaitl and McDavid? And I think the same thing from a defensive standpoint. And that's what goes back to what we talked about a moment ago. The Oilers get up in the game, it gives Chris Knobloch so many more options with which to work. Then he can start to tailor his lineup more toward playing efficient defensively. If you're chasing the game, then maybe you got to lean on a guy like Klingberg a little bit more, give him more minutes at even strength when ordinarily you might not want to do that. So I think that goes back to why I think the first goal is so important. It gives him more options with which to work. And if you can get up in the game and start to tailor you're not saving anybody for anything anymore. And this is it. I mean, if you got to play 28 minutes, so be it. And I think they will go down that road if they're in position to do so. So yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't get too concerned about the alignment at the morning skate. And as we know at this time of year, there is so much gamesmanship, but I would expect Chris Knobloch to lean heavily on the guys that he feels that he can trust most.
What do you make of, so Verhaeghe stays on the people that, I don't even think it's that big of a deal, but he stayed out on the ice a little bit later. Because now theoretically you're not allowed on the ice until 11:30.
Right.
Theoretically, right? And the other team has the ice until 11:30 local time. And so the Panthers, Verhaeghe stayed out there a little bit longer than other guys. So Podkolzin, who loves to get out early, had to wait. Do you like the gamesmanship? Some people are like, oh, this is just adding fuel to the fire. I don't think it really matters, but I think it's fun to discuss. Do you think there's anything to it?
I love the gamesmanship. My God, if I played, that's what I would be all about. If I can find a way to get in your head at 10:30 in the morning and that's going to bother you, my God, am I doing that all day long? So I love it. Now, I wasn't there, so I don't know the exact chronology of what went down. At what point did Verhaeghe actually leave the other ice surface? Do we know exactly when that was? He
left. Yeah, he left before. He left before 11:30, well before, right? But usually, sometimes the guys will go on, and then they don't want to flood, right?
Yeah.
Just because Podkolzin, even in Edmonton, he's always on early. He's done that all regular season, right? So It's a small little thing, try to maybe get a guy off his thing. But to me, if that gets you off your game, then you got bigger issues.
Well, exactly. And if it was Connor McDavid, then I'd be really agitated about it if I were Edmonton. No disrespect to Vasily Podkolzin, but you don't have the cachet to play the "you got me off my game" card. Like, just be good when the puck drops. Again, no disrespect, but really, come on. I love the gamesmanship. Like, I heard that then there was a Florida assistant coach yelling at the Oilers coming on, no, there's a flood, and they told him to go mind his own affairs. Like, again, I wasn't there. I can't speak to that. I don't know if that's actually how it went down. If it was at 11, if it was at 11:20, if it's right out of the elevator etiquette handbook that at times Florida uses. It's interesting. So I don't know, but I do love it, because if it were me, I would be trying to do that. And I think it's pretty funny that Verhaeghe would do that when he ordinarily is a guy that doesn't go on his own and spend the whole time by himself. But if it's going to get you off your game, then you probably don't deserve to win in the first place.
True enough.
Yar, where do you come out on it?
Oh, I'd be at it all day too. If that gets in your head, come on. That's just a gimme. Those things, it's hard to go in front of the net and spear somebody and get away with it. But if you can get to them by doing that all day long, turn the heat up in the rooms.
Oh, yeah.
The old Bob Luggs classic. Pump the heat. Just throw people off a little bit,
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, I know that a lot of the focus is on the Stanley Cup final, and rightfully so, but we are here, man. We're just like less than 2 weeks. Free agency is actually 2 weeks today, July 1st. So there's that. There's the draft coming up in 10 days' time. We have, of course, then there's offer sheet. You got to qualify guys, and then we'll find out who's filed for arbitration, all those sorts of things. And the Dallas Stars need a head coach. Todd Nelson's been in that organization before. Do you think they go with that, or did they go with the vet? What do you like? Are they bringing in? Are they going to go Laviolette? Are they going to go with an experienced guy? What do you think Jim Nill's going to do?
I think if they were going to go like name brand, like a Laviolette or a Tortorella, I think the job would already be filled by now. Another name that comes to mind, who is also, and I actually forgot about this, but when I looked it up, it did jog my memory, who's been in the Dallas organization before, who's currently active this evening, is Glenn Gullitson. There's another guy who could be under consideration, because I think he's done a really good job. And I think he's the type of guy who has earned another head coaching opportunity. So I wonder if he's a guy that's under consideration. I look at a guy like him. I look at a guy like Todd Nelson. I look at a guy like Neil Graham, who's coaching the Texas Stars right now and has had a lot of success. I think they're going to go more down that road, either a younger-ish guy who has earned another chance, or somebody from within, as opposed to a guy who's toward the end of their career, right, as Laviolette and Tortorella would be. Because I think if it was up to those names, I think, what are you waiting for? You would have made the decision at this point. So it's going to be interesting to track, but that's sort of the lane that I see them going down. Not a name brand type of guy.
Davey, great stuff, buddy. And we'll see. And Oiler fans have got a lot of texts saying we hope Dave is working on Friday night. That's so there they go. They want you to be working, Dave. So enjoy the game tonight, and we'll be listening to Ice Caps after the show.
I feel the love of the good people in Edmonton. Be well, boys.
There you go. That's Dave McCarthy from SiriusXM. Quick break. We'll come back. Mark Spector joins us next. Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th Street, your place to watch the game. People are funneling in already. That's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hey, Alberta, the all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
Back by popular demand, the Operation 36 Junior Golf Program at Cattail Crossing Golf Club. Designed for kids ages 5 through 17. It combines instruction and on-course play, focusing on technique, strategy, and course management. Taught by certified CPGA pros. Only $325 for 4 weeks of instruction, plus 4 9-hole rounds of golf. Operation 36, Wednesdays 5:30 till 7:30 p.m. through August. Register at cattailcrossing.ca. Click on Junior Program or call 780-973-6600. 86.
Is it Riverside Motorsports? No. It's Riverside Motorsports. Over 55 years in business, and people still get it wrong. Guess it's time to get it right.
Riverside Motorsports. What you do for fun is our business.
I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And I'm Zach Hyman. And when we're not making juicy, sweet passes or having my goals disallowed, we're working for Legacy Heating and Cooling. You know, guys used to call me a plumber, and now they call you an AC repairman. Nice.
Hey, guys, you're not here to fix air conditioners. You're here to sing the jingle.
Oh.
Well.
Okay. Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
No payments and no interest for 1 year from qualified installers. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
This is a slam dunk. Dive into Edmonton's vibrant basketball scene with exclusive interviews and expert analysis. I'm Paul Sir, and I host The Basketball Show every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's AquaCentral reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade: safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
New crust alert at Papa John's. Your favorite cheese meets your favorite pizza in the new cheddar crust pizza for only $17.99. Papa John's pizza makers created the perfect addition to their crust by melting garlic and herb seasoned cheddar cheese right on top of their fresh original dough that's made with 6 simple ingredients. Try a one-topping cheddar crust pizza today for only $17.99. You better hurry though, because it's only for a limited time. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
The Discovery Day sales event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. It's your final month to lease a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save $5,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 0.49% and save $4,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save up to $2,000. Come and discover the deals now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.348, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Orders Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Of course, sports1440.ca. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you're outside the city or the province and you got the app going, we love it as well. Radio Player app or Stingray app, I find are the best. So check it out. Online, anywhere you get the show, we very much appreciate it. It's always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. And you know what? It's easier. Just download the app. Speaking of great apps, download the Play Alberta app. It's your one-stop shop. Lotteries, casinos, you name it. And how about Lotto Max? 25 million. The Darnell nurse of lotteries tonight at playalberta.ca. As it's time for the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. They said they only have 3 words they care about today. Go, Oilers, go, from GS Construction. as we welcome in from Rogers Sportsnet, Mark Spector. Spec, how you doing?
Isn't that only 2 words?
Let's go Oilers. Well, it's 3. But it is 3 words, right?
Let's go Oilers. Okay.
Yes, let's go or no, sorry, go Oilers, go. It's still 3. I guess I don't know, 3 words, but 2 of them are the same.
2 words, baby.
Right.
But it's one of them you use twice.
Yeah, that's right. Sure. All right.
Now, hey, I don't want your mind to explode here, Jay. That's not what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah. No, I get it. Was the Verhaeghe on the ice thing blown out of proportion, Spec? What do you make of that?
Yeah, people I don't think it was blown out of proportion. I reported it. That's all I did. And others did too. And then, of course, you read the mentions and everyone goes crazy. So, yes, it was nothing. I mean, look, there's a lot of ways to look at it. I've covered hockey for a pretty long time. I've never seen a team using both of the sheets in that situation. Why is Florida using 2 sheets? Okay, they want to. They got off the ice at 11 o'clock, a half hour before the Oilers were supposed to skate. So it's not that big a deal. It's not a big deal. Is it? Do you think that's a big deal?
No, not at all. I think if it's fun little gamesmanship, I'm all for it. Right? You're trying to rattle the team. And if I'm the Oilers, you want to use the old last dance. And that offended me. Michael Jordan, use anything you can, Spec. If you feel it's going to get you fired up, then use it. I'd have no problem with it.
I guess. I remember when we were in San Jose and they were at a completely different arena on the other side of the city, and they didn't turn the lights on until 11:25 in where Edmonton was. I thought that was a low-class, cheap, stupid move. What are you doing? I was in Denver one time when we showed up, and the Oilers bench was probably a foot closer to the boards than Colorado's bench was. So, that's
an old Glenn Sather move, right? Remember when Slats cut off the end of the bench on the visitors' bench at Edmonton?
Yeah, remember when Scotty Bowman used to get the Detroit visitors' dressing room painted the morning of or whatever, the night before, so they all had to breathe the fumes? I don't know. That stuff doesn't do anything for me. It tells me you're insecure. If you got to do that to try to win, and I'm not talking about Verhaeghe here. We're not talking about Florida. This to me was nothing. But if you're shortening benches and painting dressing rooms, it tells me I don't think my team's good enough to beat you fair and square. So I got to pull all this minor league mind game garbage to try to win. It doesn't speak well for your team, in my opinion.
Okay. See, I think it's just doing anything to try to rattle some guys and seeing, hey, can this rattle them? And if it does, then good for us. So it shouldn't. And away we go. I think God in the old days, honestly, cutting off the bench and making the other team have to play the whole game sitting closer together is genius. Because there's just no space there. You get annoyed. I know in sometimes you go to certain benches, even in minor hockey, when we go play at the rink, the kid's God, this sucks. There's no room on the bench. So I could see how, it could impact you in the National Hockey League level. I find it quite funny.
Yeah, that's minor league, minor hockey hijinks. Do that at, Russ Barnes Arena when you're coaching peewees. Don't do it in the National Hockey League. We should be past that, Jason. We should have grown past those days.
We're never past being a tad immature in life. Life's too short to not be immature at times where you're not doing any actual harm.
Yeah, well, if I said I didn't agree with you there, I would be a hypocrite. So
yeah, that's true. Exactly. Look at your helmet. God, you wear that thing just to distract people. Who are you kidding? God, terrible. So the Oilers, no surprise. Stuart Skinner, I thought all day long was going to start. I actually would have started him at 5. Klingberg's in, but the defense pairings Kulak and Nurse. Did they ask? Because Kulak on the right side hasn't had a lot of success. Jake Wallman's had more success on the right side. Why wouldn't he be the one on the right side? Play him with Nurse and Kulak with Klingberg, or put Ekholm with Klingberg. I don't care, but I'd have Kulak away from the right side.
I don't. You know what, Paul Coffey, you should interview him because I agree with you. First of all, I think you're right, but there's probably way more into it. They probably feel the guy that plays with Nurse is going to get a bunch more minutes, and maybe they would rather have Kulak getting extra minutes compared to Wallman. That could be something. Maybe they're planning on watching Klingberg for the first 7 minutes like they did with Stetcher and barely using them for all I know. Things get different now, right? This is an elimination game. So they coach this thing differently than they coached even in game 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1. So they might have some stuff up their sleeves that we don't even have a clue what they are yet. But it will be desperation time early if things aren't going their way, man.
Yeah, well, the key to me is like key 1, the start, key 2, the start, key 3, the start. Like the first period. That to me, the whole game is going to predict. Now, you can have a good first period and lose, but if the Oilers have another bad first period, I think it's good night, Irene. I don't see them being the outlier and making a big comeback again. They need to be ready to go from the drop of the puck tonight.
Well, I think they have to show that there can be stretches of time more than just an eyelash where they're the better team. Like through 5 games of this thing, there haven't been a lot of, how many shifts, let's say how many 10-minute blocks we've played. What's 5 times 30, 150, couple overtimes. We're into about 180, 190 minutes of hockey here. How many 10-minute blocks? Sorry?
358 minutes.
Sorry, what am I doing?
358.
Right.
What are you, Rashog now with the math calculator?
Rashog now, yeah, excuse me. Anyway, how many 10-minute blocks have the Oilers been the better team? Right? How many? Not many. So this thing about Edmonton being sluggish, it's not Edmonton being sluggish. It's Florida being better. That's what it is. So the Oilers have to figure out how to be better, or we all come home tomorrow and we go to the lake. But if they don't, this is it. This is last chance saloon to figure out how to be the better team. We haven't gotten to our game yet. We've heard that one a lot too. I'm looking at Florida. That's why they haven't gotten to the game yet. So figure it out or it ends. That's why there's a finite end to these series, man. You only got to win 4. We could play all summer, but maybe we don't have to here.
The Oilers, they got to get on their game. Obviously last game I rewatched the highlights again, Spec, and I was blown away by those Florida goals. Like the losing a face-off at center ice and getting beat like that. Like I don't know if that's happened. I can't remember the last time that happened in a playoff game, to be honest. The second goal, Ekholm's coming up to center, and it looks like he almost blows snow fans on his dump in, and 8 seconds later, the puck's in the back of your net. And then on the third goal, you win an offensive zone face-off, but Marchand pokes it back to Wallman, and then he just fans on his cross pass. They intercept it. Now Marchand's got a breakaway, and then he walks now. Great play to walk around Wallman, but it never should have got to that, right? Like there wasn't a lot happening in that last game, Spec. Like, I know Florida scored, but you look at, there's very few shots. There wasn't a lot of high danger. They get a save. Sure, they would have liked one that's fair. But tonight, is it just all about if Edmonton, we really haven't seen them play with a lead for any extended period of time and never with a 2-goal lead. So do you think that could really change the pace and the flow of the game if Edmonton can get a lead?
Yeah, and I think more so if Florida has to change what they're doing to try to catch up again. Like, we don't know what Florida looks like when they're behind. So phrase it however you want. Edmonton being ahead or Florida being behind. We haven't seen enough of it to know what it looks like yet. And Florida's, I think we've all figured out by now, when they're leading you, it's really hard. The way they play, man, it's hard to come back. I don't know what they'd look like if they had, how much would they open up if they were down by 2? How many 2-on-1s and breakaway passes and stuff would Edmonton get if they were trying to seize every little opportunity to score a goal, right? All the breakaways and 2-on-1s are going in one direction here. And a large part of it is because Edmonton's trailing and taking chances and, just sometimes making a bad play. But that's what I would like to see. I have no clue what Florida looks like in this series behind 2 goals. Nobody does. We got to see that at some point.
McDavid, is it too captain obvious? Like, this is, I want to see him and Draisaitl both play a lot, but preferably not together. I really think that plays even more into Florida, especially without Zach Hyman. Nugent Hopkins is banged up, and Evander Kane's been somewhat of a ghost in this series, if we're being bluntly honest. Like, we're still waiting for he's got to make an impression that isn't in the penalty box.
Yeah, there's all those things are true. I don't like the best Oilers team doesn't have 29 and 97 on the same line. I think we all know that the jury's back here. So, when they put them together, why? Because it's not going very good. That's why. So yes, you want to see those two remain on separate lines. You want to see them get tons of ice time. You want to see the best player in the world and the second best guy right now, play like it. This is the night where it is fair to say carry your team, right? I don't say it all year to those guys because all they do is just carry the team by themselves, and it's not about them all year because they're so good. But tonight it's fair to look at 97 and 29 and say, yes, it's a team game. Yes, the team got you here, but this is the stage and the spotlight's going on at 8:15 here. And this is your night. This is your time to show everyone that you're the best two guys in the world. We're not, this is what you got to be better than Sam Bennett and Brad Marchand, right? You got to be better than those two guys tonight.
Yeah, I think that's very well put, right? You got, no offense to Brad Marchand and Sam Bennett, but 37-year-old Brad Marchand should not be more impactful than Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
Yes, that is true.
Right? That's just a fact. Now, Draisaitl does have 4 goals in the series, and and McDavid, he has 1, but you know what, he scored a goal when the game was done. So, right, we need an impact moment. I think for the Oilers, they need an impact moment if they want to win this series, and because they need to win tonight. That's obvious. We all know that. So, what about some other guys like Evander Kane spec? And Kane, he took some penalties, then he got negated. We're going to see Evander Kane, this is kind of put up or shut up time for him. I want to see what he's made of tonight.
I couldn't agree more. And this is the healthy Evander Kane. There's no excuses and I'm not saying his injury was an excuse last year. It was very real. He just couldn't play. We're not there anymore. He's healthy. And he's just another guy who hasn't brought enough in this series. There's never one reason why the other team is better than you are for most of 5 games. There's a bunch of reasons. Yes, one of them's Hyman, but that one you're never going to fix. The other reasons are Evander Kane. Get more productive, make an impact, find a way. Matthias Ekholm, shut him down, right? Be a shutdown player. Evan Bouchard. You're setting records for points in playoffs and things like that. Not in this series, he's not. Right? Make plays. Get better. This is the time to be your best Evan Bouchard now and your best Evander Kane. Don't look back and say, oh, geez, I was better against Dallas. I don't care what shit against Dallas, man. That doesn't matter anymore. So, yes, Jason, you can look at Evander Kane, and we're all looking at him. He's got to be productive. He's got to give you more. But there's about 6 guys I'd say that about on this team right now.
Spec, it should be a great game, man. The rink is going to be full. There's going to be Stanley Cup as an extra guest, and obviously the Oilers are hoping they don't see Stanley tonight, other than maybe in the walkway on their way home to the plane for a Game 7. We shall see.
Phil Pritchard, man. I'll say hi to Phil for you.
Yeah. Say hi to him for you. Yeah, and don't touch the cups. Wash your hands.
Okay, I got you.
There you go. That's the Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction, where, hey, baby, it's the Stanley Cup Finals. This is what you want as a fan. I know you're nervous. You feel like you're gutting. People have been texting, God, I haven't felt this nervous since I had a kid. Hey, maybe not. I get it, right? Because sometimes you're pacing as a dad. You don't have any control, right? You're trying to be supportive and stuff, but at the end of the day, let's be honest, at that moment, you're not really doing much, right? You maybe take a deep breath. Then she's like, shut up. Oh, I still remember that. Anybody who watched that video, God, the young couples who have to go through that one. She I'm not sure it's maybe update the video first of all. That video, it's older than dirt, and the woman screaming it, and my wife's like, how is this making me feel better? It's not. And I just remember saying, if you because in the video, they want you to get really close in there and talk, okay, have your breathing, deep breaths. And my wife's like, if you get really close to my face, we're going to have a problem. I'm like, yeah, no problem. But I was chuckling, of course, right? Because I get it. Because that's the one time where you're just like, you know what? Hey, it's good to be a guy. Those are the days where I'm like, hey, it's good to be a guy. And trust me, I respect my wife a ton for what she, giving birth is unbelievable, right? It's a lot of strength, it's lots of courage. But for that brief moment, you're just like, you know what? Not upset that I'm not there right now. I'll do everything else. I'll help out, everything great. But in that moment, it's a tough one. So young gents, you don't want to get in their face and try to tell them how to breathe properly when they're excruciating pain. It's not necessarily the best thing. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by your Alberta GMC dealers. Employee pricing is on now at GMC. Get up to $12,000 off a 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Denali Ultimate, only at gmccanada.ca.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Just over 2 hours away from puck drop down in Sunrise, as the Oilers look to even up their series with the Panthers at 3 games apiece. We've got pregame coverage coming your way at 5 o'clock with Andrew Walker, Gregor, and Donovan Paulson. Some lineup notes for the Oilers captain Klingberg drawing in. Arvidsson and Spector come up. Stuart Skinner will get the start between the pipes. The schedule for the men's hockey tournament at the 2026 Winter Olympics has been released. Canada will be in Group A with Switzerland, Czechia, and France. First game goes against the Czechs on February 12th. Major League Baseball today, the Blue Jays are in action, taking on the Diamondbacks in Toronto. First pitch, 5:07. Also the Phillies and Marlins. Nationals hosting the Rockies. Angels in New York for a meeting with the Yankees. Cubs host the Brewers. Guardians in San Francisco. And the Athletics up against the Astros. Mariners will host the Boston Red Sox. Edmonton Riverhawks in action tonight down at Remax Field, hosting the Bellingham Bells. That one gets going at 7:05, and at 8:30, it's Gold Cup action. Canada taking on Honduras. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Jason Strudwick and Ask 5 Questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions, take one for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats?
Yes, it's a team game.
Ready
Yes, the team got you here.
Legacy.
But this is the stage, and the spotlight's going on.
Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep, unlike
Clock.
Legacy, I
Welcome
never
back.
know when to
Countdown
cool
is
it.
on.
Legacy
3
Heating
hours.
and Cooling.
New crust alert at Papa John's. Your favorite cheese meets your favorite pizza in the new cheddar crust pizza for only $17.99. Papa John's pizza makers
Less than 3
create the
hours.
perfect addition to their crust by melting garlic and herb seasoned cheddar cheese
Hey, Alberta.
right on top of their fresh original
Connor Halley,
dough
Sports
that's made with
1440.
6 simple ingredients. Try a one-topping cheddar crust pizza today for only $17.99. You better hurry though, because it's only for a limited time. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
The Discovery Day sales event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. It's your final month to lease a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save $5,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 0.49% and save $4,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save up to $2,000. Come and discover the deals now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
Saturday, June 21st, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Edmonton Street Rod Association marks 40 years with a summer cruise at White Mud Equine Center. Spectators welcome. Admission is free. Hear it before you see it. Supported by Sports 1440.
Silent Rides is one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. With state-of-the-art motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation. Our seatbelt-equipped buses have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at Cantork.com.
When you look at a pipe, we just see a pipe. But at GS Construction, we know it's not just a pipe. It's the future water flowing to a growing family's home, or the sewer line for a new school. At GS Construction, we know every trench we dig connects people to what matters. And if you'd like to be part of that vision of making a better future, we're hiring. Right now, GS Construction is looking for experienced foremen to join our team. So apply today at gsconstruction.ca. GS Construction, underground with purpose.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and I know there's no such thing as a free lunch. But when you bring your used RV to No Bull, I'll give you a free roof assessment. Now, what do I mean by that? It means we'll climb up and take a real close look at all the joints and connections and seals on your roof, and give you a written report on what's going on up there.
How often do people get up on the roof of their RV, Rick?
Not often enough, Bob. You should do this twice a year.
Would I know what to look for if I did it myself?
Maybe. Depends on how experienced you are in RV maintenance. But remember, there's no free lunch. There's a 1 out of 10 chance I'm going to sell you something. But what I want to sell you is a small repair. The kind we catch before there's a lot of water damage, rather than the kind that costs you thousands once the leak is visible from the inside. And 9 times out of 10, the assessment is really free. And it's also free to know you'll be safe and dry this camping season.
And that's No Bull. NoBullRV.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Calling all cheddar lovers, try Papa John's new cheddar crust one-topping pizza for only $17.99. Order online at papajohns.ca or through the Papa John's app.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Oh, just after 4 o'clock. We're 2 hours and 10 minutes and change away from game number 6. It is a must-win game. First one all year, Order fans. You haven't really had to be that nervous until tonight because this is a must-win game for your team. You've been through this. Must-win game in Game 6 against Vancouver last year. Game 7, won both. Game 4, Game 5, Game 6, they won them all. They lost Game 7, of course, so 5-1 last year in must-win situations. They will try to continue that and make it 6-1 and then get to Game 7 with a home crowd and a city that will be ready to burst if you can get to Game 7. Just the excitement. Like, imagine everywhere you go the next few days if the Oilers win today. Like, everybody's excited. You'll be playing men's league hockey. You'll be playing soccer. You know what? No one will yell at the refs. Oh, hey, don't worry, buddy. It's all good. The Oilers are in Game 7. Right? Someone will cut you off on the road. You'll be like, no, it's all good. No, hey, you go first. Go first. The Oilers are in Game 7. That's what happens, right? That's what happens. So, go to playalberta.ca too. You'll be like, hey, what are the odds? Oh, the Oilers underdog? No problem. They won. It's great. So check it out at playalberta.ca. I'm Jason Gregor, live at OTR, Jasper Ave, 118th Street. Terry Ryan is back with us. TR, when you look at this whole situation and the Oilers and it's an opportunity. Like, there's nerves, but it's like I don't care what level you play. Game 7 in the dub, and game 6, it's an opportunity to win. You don't enter it thinking I can lose. You always think about we're going to win.
Yeah, winners think like that, and I'm confident the Oilers, especially with the experience from last year. Again, not that they won, but they got there. They understand what it takes. They've all won something at some point. They're great hockey players with a lot of experience. Sorry, my door just blew open. One sec. Sorry about that. Okay, so look, I always if you're the Oilers, the way I used to look at it, in whatever league I'd be in, you don't expect to win in 4 straight. You figured you were maybe going to be in a Game 6, maybe even a Game 7, but there's all kinds of things that happen. There's obstacles, there's nuances, there's power plays, there's missed calls. There's just so much that goes along with it, and that's what makes it a great game that we can all talk about, and that's why there's a lot of people listening to this right now, and we can talk about it. But in the end, they have to go do this. And earlier I was talking specifically McDavid, but I mean everybody there. I mean they're in a Stanley Cup final. They know, they dreamt about this since the time they're kids, and they got here. So even if it's just the experience this year, which it's not, that would mean a lot. So I don't think like the fact that it's, oh my God, we're in the final Game 6. It's not that kind of pressure. But I think you look forward to these moments. You don't want to be down, of course, but you are, and it's going to be 3 games to 2 for somebody when you're going into Game 6. So as much as Oilers Nation might be nervous and everything, I'm sure there's a level of nerves with the players, but it's just I don't think it's too much unlike just all the other games and series that they've had to play during this run. So I honestly would look at it objectively. This is an opportunity. You're trained not even to think about law. What happens if we lose? Well, that's loser's mentality, and you don't get here twice in a row having that. So I would think they're looking at it going, you know what? Here we go. We can all be heroes right now. Let's bring it back to Oilers Nation. Bring it back to oil country, Canada. Let's do it. I think that. I think they're looking at it from all different angles. But, if we win, not only are we the first team that's done it in Canada in way more than a quarter century, but, we've Stanley Cups here. And you don't get this far with being petty with your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're going to worry about it at all. Let's get to the oil report brought to you by Volvo Cars Edmonton, and the Discover Day sales event continues on. It's the final month. You can lease a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid for only 0.49% and then save an additional $4,000. Great deal, better vehicles at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com. And we'll hear from head coach and his decision on starting Skinner and getting Klingberg back in the lineup.
Obviously, we feel that those two would give us the best opportunity to win. Of course, we're not going to make that change. Stu's been in a lot of high-pressure games. He's played really well. You look at the amount of elimination games he's played. I think there's 6 last year, and every single game that he played in were really solid, if not spectacular performances. So the game season's on the line. We have a lot of confidence in him. And as for John's played some really good playoff hockey, and there wasn't much hesitation to not have him play tomorrow.
Yeah, well, no brainer. I thought that, at times that they miss Klingberg, especially if the Oilers get a lead. TR, I think Klingberg's puck moving abilities become even more vital and more, because now when Florida gets a little aggressive, Klingberg can thread the needle a little bit better, and that can maybe lead to a stretch pass and a 2-on-1, and suddenly, you extend your lead. And I think because, he's not going to make massive pinches. I don't really see that from Klingberg, right? Like that. It's not like he's going to, oh my God, he's going to be super aggressive offensively. It's more he's patient with the puck. Obviously going back on an aggressive forecheck, that can be an issue at times. I don't think it's devastating, but it's more so if you can get the lead, and you got to think about, hey, if we get to play our game, and when we play our game, John Klingberg's been he was unreal against Vegas and Dallas. So I get why.
Yeah, he's been playing well, man. If you put any play under a microscope, I think it just lends a hand to be really cynical for no reason. I think he's played well, way above expectations coming in. We didn't really know what to expect when he came to Edmonton. I think he's exceeded that. And this playoffs, I think he's been solid. I think at times he's been absolutely fantastic. And he plays with poise, like you said. There's going to be, I'm not going to say panic, but people are going to be fired up. It's nice to have a guy that can make a good pass, that's poised and that has experience and that doesn't usually crack under pressure. I like it. I think he's going to deliver a solid performance.
Knobloch was also asked, McDavid said it, Draisaitl said it. They haven't played their best. So ask the coach, how does he get them? How can he help them to play their best tonight?
Yeah, finding your best is, I don't know, you got to find a level of intensity, a little bit of passion, a little bit of fun, not put too much pressure on yourself, but you need some pressure, and then just everything's got to work out. And, I thought we had a great skate the other day. I love the attitude. One thing I've found with this team going back to last year is when our backs are against the wall, they play their best. They bring their best. And we haven't really had our backs up against the wall very much this year. But last year certainly saw it where guys just almost going through the motions until it's on the line. And obviously it's on the line right now, and we're going to need the best out of those 20 guys that we're dressing tonight.
100%. And, they know what it feels like to lose a cup. I think that can be a motivator. It's a little bit of fear sometimes, TR, but there can be power in that. And it can be a big motivator for the Edmonton Oilers, I think, to say, hey, here we are. Let's go. We're in this, and away we go. So it should be. I'm looking forward to it. I want to ask you, who's a player, like, who do you feel? You got a gut feeling about maybe an unsung hero tonight for the Edmonton Oilers?
I don't know if he'd be unsung anymore, but it'd be Corey Perry. He would be the first one that would come to my head. And again, is that unsung? What does he have? 9 or 10 goals in the playoffs? Yeah, former Hart Trophy winner, I think. So, I don't know. There's just so many stars in the game. I guess he's a lot older, and each time he does anything, positive is it just reminds me that this guy's, 40 years old and still going. And I guess because of that, and he's not the swiftest guy out there. He never was, but it's not like he's fast. It's a very fast game. So I always find him a bit of an underdog, no matter how successful. And I just find he's in those right areas. And it might be a situation of a puck hitting your pants and bouncing in, or something greasy. You know, the further series go, especially with two teams that fight like dogs, it has a tendency to be greasy, and that combined with experience and pure skill. I mean, the guy's skilled. Again, a lot of people kind of forget earlier in his career the expectations and the achievements that he's produced. So I guess it would probably be there if I had to bet for somewhat of an underdog tonight because of those. And you know, I think he's one of those guys. We talked about these big game. I think he lives for these moments. Really, I think Corey Perry's the kind of guy, if it's 3-0, it doesn't faze him one bit. He goes out there and says, you know what, I'm going to be the guy that might make it, you know, be in a series that we come back and win all 4. Like, I don't think at any point he seems too worried about the future. It's like, let's do it now. Let's get together. Let's lead. Let's play. And usually if there's an unsung hero, there tends to be a storyline like that. And they just tend to be in the right places at the right times, because of experience and will and all that. And there's got to be a bit of luck to it. And I think he's been a little bit lucky in these playoffs when it comes to some of those goals. So there you go. I think Corey Perry.
Corey Perry. All right, Con Man, you got a unsung hero for the night?
I mean, I feel like throughout this playoff run, I've kind of been hoping for him. So I'm going to say Jeff Skinner chips in offensively here. Not the nicest goals, but I'm going to say he just goes to the blue paint and gets a couple of, well, not a couple, gets an ugly one.
Well, that line, they definitely could use some offense from them. There's no question. Frederick's had a few chances in these postseason. He hasn't been able to finish. Skinner definitely had that one really good chance the other game, turned and fired, and he was going top shelf and he just missed it. So, yeah, I could see that. That's not a bad call. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stay. He comes back in, and I think he's going to be shot out of a cannon again. I'm going Kasperi Kapanen tonight to do something that changes the game in a positive sense for the Edmonton Oilers. If you got an unsung hero, let us know. 833 and why? Who and why? 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan, Connor Halley with you. It is, of course, Tuesday edition of the Gregor Show, live and on the rocks, Jasper Ave and 118th Street, your place to watch the game. Get in, of course, and when you come here, the Pink Pony Jugs, they've been going really well in honor of Zach Hyman, so you can get one of those while you sit down and get ready to watch Game 6. We'll return. It's the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Get in the game, use the promo code Gregor50 and download the Play Alberta app.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta sports and casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
McDonald's summer drink days are back, which means it's officially summer. Enjoy your refreshing small Coca-Cola or small iced coffee for just $1 all summer. Summer's booming with summer drink days. Excludes flavored iced coffee at participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
The Edmonton International Airport presents the Edmonton Elks home opener, taking on the Montreal Alouettes with new in-house band, new food items, Superdogs halftime show, and more. June 19th at 7 p.m. Tickets on sale now at goelks.com.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Canada's best bedroom sale continues at The Brick. Make your bedroom a dream come true with incredible savings, like up to 40% off bedroom furniture and select mattresses, up to $1,500 off sectionals, and up to 25% off dining packages, TV stands, wall units, and electric fireplaces. Plus, buy more, save more. Up to an additional $500 off select brands of major appliances. Some exclusions apply. See thebrick.com for details. The Brick, saving you more.
The dog days of summer means baseball. Every weekend, Sports 1440 carries Toronto Blue Jays ball games. Ben Shulman will have the call. Grab a cold one and tune in this weekend to Blue Jays baseball on Sports 1440.
Find the perfect tractor for any job at Edmonton Kubota. Their massive selection of compact tractors has something for everyone, whether you're tackling small tasks or big projects. And right now, take advantage of 0% financing for up to 72 months. It's never been easier to get the power and reliability you need. Come down to Edmonton Kubota today and drive away with a tractor that's just right for you. Edmonton Kubota, where your perfect tractor awaits.
Reports suggest that Canadian taste buds are bored to tears.
Can't handle another dull drink.
Summertime smoothie experts everywhere are recommending a watermelon wake-up from Booster Juice.
It's so smooth, cool, and refreshing.
And ridiculously delicious. Enjoy the Watermelon Wave and Watermelon Explosion smoothies, available all summer long at a Booster Juice near you. Stay cool, Canada.
Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
The all-new 2025 Kicks, with expressive style and advanced tech, is Nissan's #1 selling subcompact SUV. Right now, finance an all-new Kicks from just 0.49% for up to 24 months. A top choice, with an offer that's hard to beat. Hurry into your local dealer and drive away in the all-new Nissan Kicks. Includes 0.5% loyalty reduction for qualifying Nissan owners. Conditions apply. See Nissan.ca for details.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information. Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 EEE. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
If you change your mind, take a chance on the touching line. Honey, I'm still free. Take a chance on me. If you need me, let me know. Gonna be around. If you got your place to go, when you feel it.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. Sherbrooke is a house of curiosities, a mom and pop, a curated experience that is equal parts wine tastings and 2-4s for May long. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
From puck drop to kickoff, it's the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling.
Welcome back. Less than 2 hours from puck drop. The Oilers and the Florida Panthers, baby. One shot. That's all you need. The old M&M. One shot. Would you take it? The Oilers, really, I think they're honest. They haven't played their best. All you got to do is play well for one game, and then you get to game 7, and anything can happen. That's all you need. All they need is one good game. They've played a lot of good games. Now you just need one. That's all you need. So we'll see if they can bring it tonight against the Florida Panthers on the road, where the Oilers historically in the McDavid-Draisaitl era, when they face elimination in Game 6, they are 4-1 in that Game 6. So that's good. Meanwhile, the Panthers the last 2 years, odd stat for a team that's won the Cup and is one win away from winning the Cup. They're only 5-5 in elimination games. They've, and they were 1-3 against the Oilers last year. Like they've struggled when they've had a chance to put a team away. Maybe Edmonton can take advantage of that tonight. We shall see. We are live and on the rocks. Jasper, having 118th. Hope you're having yourself a lovely, lovely day. Let's get to Struds On now, brought to you by the Female Super League, an opportunity to help your daughter grow her game. U12, U14, and now the new tier of U16 player. As with the PWHL expanding out west, you know more opportunities for the girls at femalesuperleague.com.
The Jason Gregor Show presents Struds On.
I don't believe in tea bags. I use loose leaf tea, and it is so much better than the tea bags. I'll eat tea bags. I'll
Struds On.
I'm not a huge DJ guy. I mean, I guess if you hand me a couple glow sticks and a tight white t-shirt that I can get wet, maybe I'd be into it.
Struds On.
There's a lone steakhouse I used to go to down in Kentucky, and they had bowls of peanuts. I wasn't sucking on those ones. You need to have clean nut. I'm talking about the kind you get in a bag at an Elks game. You know what I mean?
It's time for Struds On.
Well, Struddy, the Oilers, hey, they need a clean first period is what they need tonight. It's the most obvious. Like, really, that's what's costing the games here. Their first periods have just been atrocious.
100%. So you get down, and obviously now you have to chase the game, but it also lets Florida get to their game, and their game is they don't want to have a ton of high end hockey. Not that they don't have talent, but they're going to smother you, make things hard for you, make life frustrating. So if the Oilers can get a lead, or to use your words, just clean, get out of the first period clean, it's a whole different game. And if they get the lead, now Florida maybe has to open up a bit. Now you can punch a few holes in their defense because they're stretched out. They're not that they just sit back, but they just make it difficult. So make them uncomfortable with the style they have to play instead of right now the Oilers are seemingly chasing for almost the whole series.
What do you feel like? What do you need to see most from Evander Kane tonight?
He's such a difference maker. He can score. He can be physical. He can get in there and chirp. I think there's, like all the players, I think they have to move the puck quicker, but he has to move his feet quicker. Get in there in the forecheck, try to get some hits, try to get the other team off their game a little bit, but get to the blue paint. I don't think we've seen enough of that. Florida's doing a good job of keeping them out of there, but at times we'll see the demon get the puck at the blue line, and they're not going to shoot it from there when there's no one in front. So get to that blue paint, get your feet moving, get in on those forechecks. And he has not to do it by himself, but he can be part of the solution along with some of the other guys we know that have had big games in the past.
Struds, what do you? Well, you know what? You were a defenseman. You shot left. You shoot left. What do you think of the Nurse Kulak matchup? Or not matchup, the pairing.
Yeah, that pairing. So the challenge with those two guys is neither one is what I'd call an elite passer. I think Wallman's a really good passer. Obviously, Bouchard and Klingman are elite when they make their plays. I'd like to see an elite passer or a high-level passer on each partnership. Kulak and Nurse aren't that. They do a lot of things well. They both skate well. They're both big. They do a lot of things well. But I'd like to see that balanced out a little bit. I don't know if they're going to do it. I'm not sure how the lines would jack up. Would you put, Ekholm back with Bouchard and then I guess Klingberg with Nurse?
Oh, yeah, Klingberg with Nurse. Like Wallman, Struddy, of the lefties, he plays the right side the best. That's why I would play him.
And then I think, but when you do that, so that makes a lot of sense, Greg. And then when you do that, now you have someone who's really comfortable at making passes, and it's different. It's one thing to make a stretch pass, okay, you can rip it up there. It's another those little soft touch passes to the middle instead of just lobbing all the way down. I know that's what they do to get away from the pressure, but then you're just chasing the puck down. You don't have it, so I would spread it out that way. And so I'm not really answering your question. I'm telling you, I would change that partnership and break those two up.
Is there any other, are you happy with the way the rest of the lineup looks? Would you make any other changes? Do you agree with the changes that are being made, and do you agree with Skinner starting?
100% with Skinner. I think that Skinner has a higher ceiling than he does with Pickard, and Pickard's done a great job. But this is a moment for Stu Skinner. We've seen Skinner have those moments before where he's had great games in big moments. I think it was last year, Greg. You might remember which game in Dallas.
Oh, buddy, game 6. Game 6.
There it is. Yeah. So he's had great moments, and that's an offensive. They've got a lot of offensive players as well. So I'm hoping that he can have a moment tonight and then you take it to Game 7. Obviously, that would be his. As far as the forward lines, I think it feels like you're constantly trying to move it around to try to find something that works. I think as a group, they have to have closer support and move the puck quicker. Get the puck moving quicker. Get it going. Get it up the ice and get some more attack time and more jump through your lineup. Because right now it feels like when I was at that game on Saturday, man, it looked like you get it, and they're getting squeezed out. They're trying to make a pass, squeezed out. Closer support, quick passing, move the puck up quicker, and kind of play faster. Not necessarily skate faster all the time, but move the puck faster. And hopefully that finds some cracks in Florida D.
Jason Strudwick joins us here on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. You mentioned, I looked at Edmonton and those first 3 goals they gave up last game, weren't from really pressure. 2 face-offs they lost. Another time, Ekholm, it was almost like he blew snow at center ice, man. You're in the Stanley Cup final. You got to get to center. You got to get that puck in. It was so obvious, kind of those small errors. And if when Edmonton has had success in this series, obviously it's come from behind, other than Game 1 when Draisaitl scored early. And I think Edmonton's had a few games where they, last game, the first 5 minutes, they were moving, they were skating, they don't get shots. But I talked to Kevin Woodley about this, and he did some research for me. The Oilers' inability to get in front of Bobrovsky and stay there. Kevin talked about it. He goes, they're getting to the net, but once the release is coming, they're moving to the side thinking, oh, I'm going to tip it. And he talked about how you can't move until the puck is gone, because if Bobrovsky sees the release point, now he knows where to go, right? You got to get him guessing. And I know it's hard to do, but I think Edmonton, there's got to be a more concerted effort tonight to get into the face of Sergei Bobrovsky.
If you go back, I think it was Game 2 when David walked down the middle, took a shot, hit Perry, and drops down. Yes. Perry turns and almost tucks it in toe. That might have been Game 2 or 3. I'm not sure. But either way, that's what Woodley's talking about. You stay there. Just hang around. And now the puck can bounce off anywhere. The goalie's scrambling to find it. When you pull off to the side, you're actually doing the D-man a favor. Because now you're hoping to tip it. Yeah, sometimes it works. But you're keep clearing the front of the net. So you actually take a step away. Now I can clear you out harder. Or easier, I should say. So what you need to do is you need to stand in front of that net, take whatever punishment there's given out, although there's not always a ton of punishment anymore, but make that happen, and then let the puck hit you, make it rebound off you, whatever you want. But that's what creates chaos. When you step aside, unless you tip it for sure, as the big TR would know, it's just right into his mitt.
Yeah, no, it's true. Tara, you stood in front of the net lots. It's a skill, and it's the timing of knowing when to be there and then when to shuffle out of the way, right? I know it's hard to just learn it in the Stanley Cup final. I'm not trying to downplay how easy it is, but the truth of the matter is Edmonton's got to be better there.
Yeah, and you got to anticipate, right? And there's ways to do that, and some guys are better at it than others, but there's a real knack to being in front there. But the big thing is you got to at times go there, create chaos, be ready for whatever, man. I say to people, I'm like, it's not easy. A lot of people go there. In recent history, some great players in front that tip, they're great at, say, Joe Pavelski. You don't think of him as being this big, tough player. But, man, I remember, bruising my spleen, your kidneys, people, they're giving you the cross-check, and then they're whacking you, especially, when the stakes are this high. But there's a real knack to that. Some people pull out and go for the one-timer. Some people create chaos, but you got to do something and, create a rebound. And a big part of the game is in front of there. I mean, a lot of people probably don't want to admit it, but a lot of things, a lot of play, analytics, schmanalytics at point. Get it at this time. Get it to the point, get some shots, and, those players. That's why I picked Perry to be my unsung hero. He's good at that, and then sometimes he overplays his hand, but a guy with experience that goes in front of the net with scoring touch, I'd be wary of tonight.
Struddy, you got anybody you see as an unsung hero tonight, ready to step up?
Well, I think we touched on Evander Kane. And, I know people are hoping that the big guys come and play, and they're going. I mean, they're obviously good, but you need someone else to also come forward and make something happen. Just counting on 3 or 4 players, although they're elite, they do need some support. You know, I'm going to throw Jake Wallman's name in there. I really like the way he plays, and it's not just his puck movement. He's able to get some bombs off. And, you know, if they can get some traffic in front, he can find open space. I'd like to see him try to create a little bit more offense from the point. They know they're trying to zero in on Bouchard. They'll be all over Klingberg tonight for sure. But I think he's a guy with that shot that can score from distance. I'd like to see him try to get more of those shots off and look for opportunity to shoot more.
Well, you know, Wallman's, you know, he's been pretty physical. If you're the Oilers, like Brad Marchand, man, like as great as it is, like you're getting beat by a 37-year-old Struddy. Like he's not that fast, and he's beaten Oilers numerous times here. Like he's obviously very quick laterally, but you're the Oilers. Someone's got to try to get that guy in the trolley tracks a little bit tonight, don't you?
Well, I think it was the third goal the other night where he skated and just kind of slipped by Wallman. You know, you got to know that he doesn't. This sounds disrespectful, but he's not looking to shoot bombs from way out. So he's trying to get to middle of the ice. So when you're coming down, just keep him to the outside, right? Just keep him to the outside. If he wants to shoot from dot line out, it's unlikely he's going to score. Not impossible, but unlikely. But now when he gets to the middle of the ice, he loves driving the net, and we saw that, you know, I've scored a couple goals, including that one in this series. So you got to understand what a player's strength is. You know, he wants to middle of the ice. He can't score from distance, so keep him to the outside. And if you don't want to quite as aggressive, no problem. But that was a nothing to turn into something major. And you got to kind of think about that when you're going against players. So he's a guy that keep him to the outside. Don't let him kind of get that speed that he loves to get. And not that he's super fast, but his speed is timely, guys. Timely.
I like how you say that. I think that's a good point. It's he's not gonna blow right by you, but he has deceptive, like he's quick, not fast. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I think he understands. You know, so go back, I think it was the overtime win. They're all blending in, but he saw a chance and he broke. And then he cuts back to the middle, gets the puck, and he's gone. Full speed. If he has to start from a dead stop, he's not beating anybody. But because he already has that timely speed built up, he takes advantage of, you know, what the Oilers or what happened with the clear by or the missed shot by Ekholm.
Yeah, his anticipation is very good, obviously. One last one for you, Struddy. When you look at this Oilers team now, and, you know, Skinner, you know, Kapanen's in, Klingberg's in, they made all these changes. I know you talk about, hey, you need other guys, but I would argue Connor McDavid hasn't really had like a dominant game. I went back and looked last year. He had like 5 dominant games last year, right? 4 points, especially game 5, like the 4-pointer when they won 8-1, like the whole team killed them. But the 4 points in Florida when they won 5-2, like he was unreal. He had 3 assists in game 4 against Dallas, was huge. Vancouver, he was huge in game 2. It was, and you know, the one game against LA, like he had multiple games where it was like, okay, this is the best guy for his standard. It's been, I know he's got the points, but it's been quiet. He needs he's had moments. I don't think he's had a McDavid dominant game yet.
And there's no doubt. And like, I do think that they need, you know, as many players to have games tonight that they'll remember for a long time as possible. But when you're sitting in that room and I'm looking around, I'm looking at Connor, Leon, Evan Bouchard thinking, hey man, like we need you guys like this. And not that they haven't been trying, but they got to find some, you know, usable space and all that kind of stuff, because they are the guys that are going to game break. You know, no disrespect to Trent Frederick, and he's going to be physical and try to get to blue paint, all that stuff. But he doesn't have that ability to create something out of nothing. These guys can, and they know it. Those guys will know it. They're elite players. They know, and they want to be a difference maker. But Florida's done a good job. Oh man, they're above them all the time, above the puck, and they're riding them out. Multiple players, especially on Connor McDavid, taking him out, giving him no space and time. And if someone does get beat, there's another layer right behind him. So Connor's gonna have to fight through it, as will Leon, as will Evan Bouchard. Like they're gonna have to fight through it if they're gonna have a night. But if there's 2 players I'd pick in the NHL to have nights, it's those 2 guys, and they need them. So if they do have a night and Skinner has a night, they probably win the game. Then they get a chance at game 7 back here.
What's happening tonight, Struddy? What's your pick?
Oh, God. Well, I said Oilers in 5, and I greatly underestimated what the level the Panthers could get to. I think they've found another gear every round. The way I saw the Panthers play on Saturday night, I think they're going to beat the Oilers. They're smothering. They're just absolutely smothering out there right now. And God, I hope I'm wrong. I picked against Oilers in the first round, so I hope I'm wrong here, but they're just everywhere. It feels like there's 6 players on the ice, sticks in the lanes, forecheck. It looks like the Oilers are hearing footsteps. Not that they're scared, but trying to make plays too quick or not stepping up behind the net far enough. So I think they lose tonight. And I hate to be Debbie Downer. I'm sure I'll be getting lit up on the old text machine, including Connor texting the show.
Yeah, wow. People are always saying get Struds off the air, never have him back on. So I don't agree with that. What they're saying.
I agree. I agree.
Struddy, enjoy the game, and we will chat with you next week.
Can't wait, guys. Enjoy it.
See you, buddy.
Jason Strudwick joins us here every Tuesday. So Struds thinks the Oilers are going to lose. Hey, well, that's why they play the games. No one really knows. No one really knows. I think he likes a little bit to be the heel at times. I think he wants to be a wrestler guy. I like it. Quick, hey guys, Chapstick doesn't know what he's talking about. Come on. Chapstick. Oh, that's actually not bad. I like it. We'll come back with 5 questions. Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. It's a lovely Tuesday afternoon on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Get in the game. Go to PlayAlberta.ca. $25 million up for grabs in Lotto Max.
For safe and professional travel options, look no further than Silent Rides, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies. Whether your group is big or small, Silent Rides has you covered. We offer state-of-the-art motor coaches, first-class service, and affordable rates. Get your quote today. For more information, call 1-877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
I'm Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And I'm Zach Hyman. And when we're not making juicy, sweet passes or having my goals disallowed, we're working for Legacy Heating and Cooling. You know, guys used to call me a plumber. And now they call you an AC repairman. Nice.
Hey, guys, you're not here to fix air conditioners. You're here to sing the jingle.
Oh.
Well.
Okay.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year from qualified installers. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
New crust alert at Papa John's. Your favorite cheese meets your favorite pizza in the new cheddar crust pizza for only $17.99. Papa John's pizza makers created the perfect addition to their crust by melting garlic and herb seasoned cheddar cheese right on top of their fresh original dough that's made with 6 simple ingredients. Try a one-topping cheddar crust pizza today for only $17.99. You better hurry though, because it's only for a limited time. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proudly locally owned and operated.
At Fitted Golf, we know that you continue to believe.
It's not my clubs. Really, it's my swing.
Except it's already June, and you're still not playing the game you want because you continue to insist it's not your clubs. Except it really is your clubs, and we prove it every day. Fitted Golf customers continue to be amazed at how good they actually are when they use the right clubs for their swing. Why would you play the game you love but not love the way you play it? From beginners to pros, Fitted Golf makes all the difference. Visit fittedgolf.ca.
Saturday, June 21st, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Edmonton Street Rod Association marks 40 years with a summer cruise at White Mud Equine Center. Spectators welcome. Admission is free. Hear it before you see it. Supported by Sports 1440.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. Ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
The Discovery Day sales event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. It's your final month to lease a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save $5,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 0.49% and save $4,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save up to $2,000. Come and discover the deals now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
KantorkBeverages.com.
McDonald's summer drink days are back, which means it's officially summer. Enjoy your refreshing small Coca-Cola or small iced coffee for just $1 all summer. Summer's booming. Summer drink days. Excludes flavored iced coffee at participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Canada's best bedroom sale continues at The Brick. Make your bedroom a dream come true with incredible savings, like up to 40% off bedroom furniture and select mattresses, up to $1,500 off sectionals, and up to 25% off dining packages, TV stands, wall units, and electric fireplaces. Plus, buy more, save more. Up to an additional $500 off select brands of major appliances. Some exclusions apply. See thebrick.com for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, the best way to beat the tariffs by Canadian. Cantork's products are not only made in Canada, but right here in Edmonton. Save money, support Canada at Cantork.com.
Tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Hour and a half away, 90 minutes from puck drop tonight. Oilers and the Florida Panthers Game 6. You're fired up. You got your plans. You know, if you're stitious, you're watching it. Maybe you're not watching it. Good luck, whatever you do. Whatever you do, I hope it works for you as the city, the fans, heck, the country. Let's be honest. Canada would like to end the drought. Let's not kid ourselves here. People would love the fact if they never had to hear about it again. The drought from 1993. We are live and on the rocks, Jasper Ave, 118th Street. Jason Gregor, Terry Ryan with you as people starting the waves of coming in, man. I like it. As always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Use the promo code Gregor50. You get a free $50 play at PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get now to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. The best bedroom sale is on now, but it ends tomorrow. So get in. You can get 40% off bedroom furniture, 40% off select mattresses, and 25% off TV stands, wall units, and fireplaces at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys, question number 1. Let's get your official prediction for Game 6, mixed with a bold prediction as well.
Let's see. My prediction, I think 5-3 Oilers empty net. Bold prediction, Corey Perry 3 points.
Oh, jeez. I am going to say, I just think we need a Game 7. So I'm going to say the Oilers win. My bold prediction is that for the first time in the series, Florida scores 2 goals or less.
All right, question number 2. Are you on board with all of the roster moves going into Game 6?
Yeah, I don't mind who they brought in and out. To me, at this point, it doesn't matter. Although I will say I like Wallman as the right defender over Kulak.
I'm with you.
Left side.
I think we're beyond. I think you could put interchange whoever. I think the changes are great, but they just got to go out and do this. We're beyond X's and O's and who's going to do this and who's going to do that. I just go out and win, and they can all make that happen. So I support the changes and think that they just got to go do it.
Question number 3. Right now, who'd be your top 3 players in power rankings when it comes to the Conn Smythe?
Right now, for me, it would be Bennett, Marchand. The third, I'd have to think maybe Bobrovsky. So, I mean, I think those would be 3. Again, it's 3 games to 2 in the fight. You're asking me right now. In 3 hours, that'll change if the Oilers win, but that's what I'm giving you right now.
Cons, I actually have a vote on the Conn Smythe, so I will pass on this. You give me your 3.
Ooh, I like that. I'll go Bennett, Draisaitl, Marchand will be my top 3 for that one. I gotta throw a little Oiler in there, even though they are down 3 games to 2. Now, question number 4 for you guys. When it comes to watching the big game like tonight, would you prefer to watch it alone, or are you someone who wants to go out and watch it with the people?
You know what? I'll be watching most of it alone. My son has a soccer game, and so no one will be home. So yeah, I'll be home alone, and you know what? I don't mind it at all. Well, I guess my dog will be there, but you know what? I don't mind it at all. I can rewind certain things. I like to, when people are over sometimes, I like to watch and rewind, and a lot of people don't like that. So I kind of like that.
Depends what day of the week. As most people know, on Fridays, I like to get rather inebriated. And if my buddies are around and a game is on, that is perfect. I like to have a game or some music. On a night like tonight, early in the week, I love watching alone. And I always see more of the game when I'm alone. I really do. I'll have a bit of supper here tonight, watch that dinner, watch the first period with my daughter. She'll go to bed. She got an exam tomorrow. And I will sit back and really, really enjoy the final 2 periods on my own. Again, if it's a weekend, it's completely different. Or if it's a game 7, maybe it's a little bit different as well. So depends what time of day and what time of week.
Final question for you guys today. It is National Mascot Day. So who would you say is the best mascot of all time?
The best mascot of all time. So my favorites, I got to give Buddy the Puffin a shout out here in Newfoundland. Hopefully he comes back with the regiment. I'm not really sure. Buddy the Puffin. Let's see. UP in Montreal. That was great. First mascot of any other sport I ever met because I was sitting in the stands. That was pretty wild. Young kid. I like that 8-man. 8-man, is it? The guy down in Phoenix because he does all the bonobo, whatever he is, chimpanzee. What do they call him?
Oh, yeah. The Phoenix Sun guy, the gorilla.
The gorilla? I guess a gorilla, yeah. I'm thinking. So, but anyway, I don't know what he's called. Maybe it's the Phoenix gorilla, whatever it is, because, man, he does acrobatics. There's hula hoops with fire around him. I don't know, like dancing bears and dunks. And I don't, for me, bang for your buck. That would be my favorite. I had to sit there for an hour with a mascot. Might as well be a guy that can entertain me like that.
Well, I'm going to go to the OG in the San Diego Chicken. He was pretty awesome for the longest time. Right now, I might go the Philly Fanatic. Just because, first of all, I love the Fanatics. I don't even know what the hell it is. And it just looks good. The Fanatic is awesome strictly because of his looks. Like Philly, you know what? They might have the best mascot group of any city, but I'm going with the Philly Fanatic.
Yeah. What about you, Comment?
I love the San Diego Chicken pick, Gregor. Big fan of that city and the teams around there. But Jackson DeVille with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, yeah.
Europe's right on the quad, and I think he bungee jumps, things like that. Yeah. So I got to give him his due. He's pretty good.
He'd have been in my top 5 for sure for the same reasons. Great name, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I know, it's good. We got a lot of Crazy George. Oh, yeah, he was classic. You know what? I remember the Safeway Seal. The Safeway Seal was an unreal mascot for the Elks. Whoever was the Safeway Seal, I'd love to get him on the show one time. Or she, whoever it was. I think it was a he. And, man, he was unreal. Cons, are you old enough to remember the Safeway Seal?
No, definitely not.
Oh, buddy, he was amazing on the sidelines. Just his shenanigans. Oh, I thought he was awesome. So I'd take him again for sure. He was pretty good. So there we go. TR, what is your what did you say your score is again tonight?
I'm going 5-3 empty net for the Oilers.
5-3 empty netter. Well, all right, TR. Well, then that means on Thursday we'll be talking Game 7.
I hope so. Either way, I might see you guys on July 9th. I got an invite to that golf tournament from Colin, and I'm trying to make it work. I hope to see you guys, and I hope to see you again in a couple days. We can talk hockey for one last time. And I really, if everything works out, I'll be in Edmonton for Game 7, but we got to win Game 6 first.
Ooh, all right, TR. Coming to the town. Geez, only the big dogs come in, for the big games. So
there's a good chance. So I hope to see you guys soon. And
you might have to come to OTR before the game on Friday. That's where we're doing the show.
Of course, 100%. 100%. And I'm sure the Sandman might be with me. Thank you, Connor. Geez. Thank you, Edmonton. Thank you, Jason. And hope to see you guys in a couple of days.
I got Terry Ryan joins us Tuesday, Thursdays here on Sports 1440. Maybe a special Game 7 appearance if they get the victory tonight. We'll come back. We got the pre-game show. Of course, the Oilers taking on the Florida Panthers. As we get to Connor Halley and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by the Alberta GMC dealers. Employee pricing continues on now. You can save up to $12,000 off a 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Denali Ultimate. See more at gmccanada.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day Oilers and Panthers meeting down in Sunrise as the Oilers try to force a Game 7. Puck drop 6:20. We've got pregame coverage coming up next with Andrew Walker, Gregor Paulson, and Landon Ferraro. For the Oilers, Captain Klingberg drawing into the lineup. Arvidsson and Stetcher come out. Skinner gets to start between the pipes. The schedule for the men's hockey tournament at the 2026 Winter Olympic Games has been released. Canada will be in Group A with Switzerland, Czechia, and France. First game is against the Czechs on February 12th. Major League Baseball today, the Jays in action, taking on the Diamondbacks in about 7 minutes' time. A couple games underway right now. Marlins lead the Phillies in the fourth. In the second, the Pirates on top of the Tigers. 1-0, and the Rockies trail the Nationals 1-0. Also in the second, in town tonight, got Riverhawks taking on the Bellingham Bells. First pitch set for 7:05. And in the Soccer World, Gold Cup gets going. Canada up against Honduras. That starts at 8:30. Coming up next here on Sports 1440, it's pregame coverage with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, Jason Gregor, and Landon Ferraro. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Reports suggest that Canadian taste buds are bored to tears.
My mouth can't handle another dull drink.
Summertime smoothie experts everywhere are recommending a watermelon wake-up from Booster Juice.
It's so smooth, cool, and refreshing.
And ridiculously delicious. Enjoy the Watermelon Wave and Watermelon Explosion smoothies, available all summer long at a Booster Juice near you. Stay cool, Canada.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
The Summer Drive event is on now at Buick. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 60 months on the 2025 Buick Envision. Make your presence known with available 20-inch alloy wheels with pearl nickel finish. Showcase your style with available quilted perforated front leather appointed seats. And radiate confidence on any drive with Buick's suite of standard safety features. Get behind the wheel of your Buick Envision today. Ask your Buick dealer for details.
Canada's best bedroom sale continues at The Brick. Make your bedroom a dream come true with incredible savings, like up to 40% off bedroom furniture and select mattresses, up to $1,500 off sectionals, and up to 25% off dining packages, TV stands, wall units, and electric fireplaces. Plus, buy more, save more. Up to an additional $500 off select brands of major appliances. Some exclusions apply. See thebrick.com for details. The Brick, saving you more.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Hey, Alberta, the all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Whoop, there it is. 4 days of basketball at its best. Hoop City 2025. North America's largest FIBA 3x3 showcase. The top 4 Olympic teams on both men's and women's categories. Featuring Canada's women's Olympic team. With Edmonton's own Michelle and Catherine Blue. More than just hoops. There's entertainment, long distance shootout, Grand Slam showcase, plus interactive games and prizes for everyone. Hoop City 3x3 Basketball Festival. July 31st to August 3rd. Ice Palace and West Edmonton Mall. Admission is free, so bring the whole family.
What's your vision for your community? At Vision Credit Union, ours is a thriving rural Alberta where kids have team jerseys, firefighters have the gear they need, and community kitchen fridges stay full. It's why we give back millions every year through grants, donations, sponsorships, and profit shares. Because when your community succeeds, we all do. Bank somewhere with Vision. Vision Credit Union. We see banking differently. Learn more at visioncu.ca.
What keeps Alberta business moving? It's pallets. Whether you're shipping, manufacturing, or looking for in-house storage solutions. Hi, it's Andrew with the Pallet Recycler here in Edmonton, and we've been providing reliable, affordable, recycled, and custom pallets for local businesses for the past 30 years. Contact the Pallet Recycler at 825-474-1981 to find out why recycled pallets are the most cost-effective way to move and store your product. Learn about our recycling program as well at thepalletrecycler.ca.
Every morning, you look in the mirror and see less of yourself. Hair loss can feel like losing a part of who you are.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we understand the pain of hair loss. Our advanced hair restoration solutions won't just bring back your hair. They'll help you face the mirror with confidence.
Good morning, you sexy beast.
Visit drvanceelliott.com today because it's time to be the man you remember.
This month in Sports History Moment is brought to you by Discount Diesel Parts.
On June 23rd, 1981, the longest game in professional baseball concluded between the Pawtucket Red Sox and the Rochester Red Wings. The game started on April 14th and went until 4 a.m. on the 19th. The game was finally paused after the 32nd inning. The tie-breaking 33rd inning was played on June 23rd with Pawtucket winning 3-2. In total, the game lasted 8 hours, 25 minutes with 60 strikeouts and 219 at-bats.
Hi, folks. This is Big Al from Discount Diesel Parts. You know, we carry a full line of parts for highway trucks, heavy equipment, and farm machinery. Parts like in-frame kits, heads, fuel injector kits, turbos, water and oil pumps, gasket kits, and so much more. We have it and at a great price. Visit us at discountdiesel.ca to get ready for the coming season and know that Discount Diesel's got the parts to get it done.
Imagine a family get-together where the smiles are as genuine as the conversations. That's the feeling you get at Nisku Ford, a family-owned dealership where finding a new Ford feels just like catching up with old friends.
Make sure to swing by Nisku Ford in June to take advantage of 0% financing or choose a total savings of up to $18,500 on select 2024 vehicles.
The coffee's on, so drive into Nisku Ford or visit niskuford.ca today. Above expectations.
We're Johnson, whoa.
Hi, it's Dennis from Weiss Johnson, and soon we'll be back to those sweaty, sweltering, sleepless summer nights. Unless you're enjoying the cool comfort of a new Goodman air conditioner installed by the pros from Weiss Johnson. Beat the heat and the rush. We're already getting calls for Goodman AC installs, so why suffer? Why sleep in the basement? Not a chance. Get your best quote on a Goodman air conditioner with no misleading information or offers. Visit wjcools.com today.
It's happened again, and construction season is in full swing. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
You can expect two things this spring, oil country: playoff beards and weird car noises after coming back from winter LTIR. Don't let something like a worn-out transmission or squeaky brakes keep you from catching the playoffs. Whether you need quality brakes, top brand oils, or a battery with more energy than 97 on the ice, Napa Auto Parts has all your trusted parts, tools, equipment, and automotive needs to keep your vehicle in winning shape for the games ahead. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
River Cree Resort and Casino present Nazareth on their Canadian farewell tour. Rocking the venue with all your favorite Nazareth classics. Nazareth Live, October 18th, the Canadian Farewell Tour. Hurry, get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement.
By the Kent family in celebrating 45 years. See all our rides at hdedmonton.com.
Sports 1440 presents the Cross Mitsubishi Pregame Show, powered by Cross Mitsubishi at 34th Avenue and 96th Street. They offer a huge selection of new and used vehicles. Check them out today. Now, here's your pregame host, Andrew Walker.
Hello, good evening to the Cross Mitsubishi pregame show. Little technical difficulties once again with you. I am Donovan Paulson. Of course, Andrew Walker will be joining us. Should be about momentarily at this point. But of course, it is Oilers and Panthers Game 6 going to be underway in just over an hour's time down in Sunrise, Florida. Well, it's that time. It's do or die for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. We're going to be looking for a bunch of different adjustments from this Oilers team tonight. I think that has been reiterated really all day across the station, whether you're listening to Carius in the morning, Low Tide, myself and Declan with Low Tide in the afternoons, or whether you're just tuned into the Jason Gregor Show, of course. Welcome. As I mentioned, the Cross Mitsubishi pregame show, 9605 and 34th Ave, crossmitsubishi.ca. We are, of course, just over an hour's away from that Game 6, as mentioned. The big adjustment for myself tonight, I kind of reiterated that on the post-game show after Game 5, is I think the Oilers need to start moving to the middle of the ice, whether that's breakouts, whether that's even in the offensive zone. Let us know on the Weiss Johnson text line, of course, 1-833-401-1440, what you think the Oilers' biggest adjustment should be for tonight. But I am all over the fact that the Oilers are going to need to break out up the middle of the ice. That's the biggest adjustment I think needed tonight. We're going to be looking for just not as much of that rim around the wall where the Florida Panthers they're kind of dominating the Oilers in that aspect of the game. Whether it's the rims up the wall from the Oilers blue liners, whether it's, there's a lot of flips out to center ice. There's a lot of icings right now for the Oilers, and they need to establish their breakout that made them so effective against the Stars and the Golden Knights. I just think, like, you can also point to the power play needs to get going a little bit. And then, of course, you've got other aspects of the game too. Like, they need to stop giving up these mass high danger chances in their own zone, whether it's off the rush or whether it's off, Florida's dynamic forecheck, what have you. I just think the Oilers are going to need, they're going to need to wake up tonight. And the big factor that I think is going to need to show up tonight is that Gregor earlier in his show called it the divine intervention. McDavid or Draisaitl, I think one of them needs to have their best game of the playoffs. I know Draisaitl's had some unbelievable games. Connor McDavid has been, dare I say, not necessarily the same guy we expect him to be. He's been good, but he hasn't had that McDavid. He had the toe drag around Ekblad, but he hasn't had that big McDavid game that we're so accustomed to seeing from him. I'm looking for McDavid or Draisaitl to show up. One or even both would be exceptional, because then that would probably mean that the Oilers are well in front of the Panthers tonight. But I'm looking for big things from those two. And then I think the rest kind of falls into place for the Oilers tonight. I'm looking for an Oilers win. I truly believe that if they start to execute, the big boys show up tonight, and if they do execute those breakout passes, that the Oilers can find a way tonight. If you look in the Stanley Cup final here, you're seeing the graphics up on screen. You got McDavid's only got one goal. It's Connor McDavid. I expect a little bit more. Draisaitl, the OT winners have been, a gift from God, but I think we expect to see a little bit more than we've seen from those two combined. So the message, big start tonight. You need that start. You need you're going to need a lot from this Oilers team. It's And chime in on the Weiss Johnson text line here. As I mentioned, 1-833-401-1440. We are looking at Harry's texts here. The Oilers, they're a great team, but the problem is that the Panthers are just better. Harry, I might be inclined to agree with you right now. Through the 5 games that we've witnessed, the Oilers have clearly been the second best team in this series. I think you can say it's coming down to the Oilers. They haven't come out with the lead really much. If you look at the fancy stats, they're way trailing in terms of having a lead in this series. So I'm looking for a good start tonight. I want to see the Oilers get back to what makes them successful. As you can see on the screen now, Panthers just over 200 minutes of time led, and the Oilers, they're just over 30 minutes. That's a massive difference in this series, and I'm looking for some big things here, but we'll see what happens tonight. It should be a good one. It should be fun. As mentioned, Cross Mitsubishi pregame show. Myself, Andrew Walker should be with us again in a matter of minutes. But we're gonna have Landon Ferraro joining us in about 10 minutes time, and then of course on post game, since it's live from Sunrise, Mark Spector will be joining us as usual for Spec on the Road, brought to you by the Pallet Recycler as well. And then we've got lots of other segments coming up here. We've got, of course, the lineups brought to you by Nisku Ford. We'll update you on those in a couple minutes time as well. And of course, you'll hear from Chris Knobloch later in the show. But we thank you for sticking here with the technical difficulties. We'll be back after the break. Hopefully, Andrew Walker will be joining us. And thank you so much. Stay tuned after the break.
What keeps Alberta business moving? It's pallets, whether you're shipping, manufacturing, or looking for in-house storage solutions. Hi, it's Andrew with the Pallet Recycler here in Edmonton, and we've been providing reliable, affordable, recycled, and custom pallets for local businesses for the past 30 years. Contact the Pallet Recycler at 825-474-1981 to find out why recycled pallets are the most cost-effective way to move and store your product. Learn about